There. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I got a gum thing down there. Dropped it. I'm moving it with my foot. Hardwood floors. They're gonna let you know every mistake you make. Let's see if I can beat Jen. Boom! I think I beat Jen today. I was the first one to post in the Discord that I was live. Suck it, Jen. Devious, welcome. Travel Casey, welcome. Thank you guys for all the ideas this morning. I wasn't sure on topic, what topic to go with today. Let me read something real quick. Oh, that was a different thing. Okay. Weird night last night. Let me tell you. Did any of you catch? I jumped in Jay's live. I don't know that I've been in Jay's live before. I really like Jay. Jay's really calm. He fixes some of the flaws with the name Jay, the flaws that I bring to the name, and everything that I wish I was, Jay is. I don't know if you guys saw that. Let me put on a little lip balm, but I'm not going to do it on camera because some of you are weird. Looking at you, Apocalypse. Looking at you, C-Note. Dry as hell out here. How's that? There we go. Don't be weird. Don't be weird about it. I'm not going to name names last night, but some people seem to be on the same medication regimen as old Don Jr. That's all we're going to say about that. I didn't wipe it off. I put too much on. This is the thing about this place. This thing about hanging out with you people. And I'm going to get a you people thing, but this is the problem with hanging out with some of you, is that you gotta baby me and mom me fucking Discord. Mom me through all of it. I just gotta quit. I think I have to quit, guys. See, this is what I'm talking about. I think I have to quit. I think I have to quit. This is an abusive relationship. I actually wanted to see what Will sent. Where did that go? This story was interesting. Jump in the box if you're opposition, by the way. I'd love to have you. It would be a real delight to have you. Missouri jury on Tuesday found the National Association of Realtors, a real estate industry group, and some residential brokers liable for nearly 1.8 billion in damages after determining they conspired to keep commissions for home sales artificially high. So how did they do that? All right, this is just about the case. Well, thanks a lot for that. If anybody knows how they did that, we got any real estate experts here? That's not good. $1.8 billion in damages. Means they overcharged probably damages, I assume, would have been the damages awarded to people who got charged too high a commission plus attorney's fees, which can't be that much. There you go. In the Discord, Burned Out Medic said, "Why does nothing else smell like Fritos?" I don't know what that was about, but Miss Julie let us know that her ass smells like Fritos. Take that, Miss Julie. That's for all the bullying of me this last week. Take that, Miss Julie. All right, headed to Twitter. Did you guys see Mayorkas and Josh Hawley's little... I don't know what Josh Hawley said. I can't find it. Does anybody know what Josh Hawley said that made Mayorkas so mad? I haven't seen it. God, fucking Discord. Oh, great. Here we go. Go ahead, Miss Julie.
Jay,
Yes?
I'm not going to take this kind of abuse sitting down.
Well, stand up. Stand up.
You're
I'm standing up
actually,
for myself, Miss Julie. I've been being bullied since last Friday.
well, you know what? I actually am going to take this abuse sitting down because I'm waiting for my PO to show up and untie me from the damn fridge. So I can't stay because I've got to be able to use my trusty grabber to reach over and get to the doorknob and let him in.
Okay, I
Bringing
apologize.
over the tech to try and hook me up again.
I'm
Now, I don't
sorry.
want to hear any more shit coming out of that pretty shiny mouth, Jay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Okay.
Watch the slander.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Now, I love you, Jay. I'll be
I
back
love
later to let
I
you know
love
how
you
it goes,
too.
okay?
Why do abusive people always say I love you after they abuse you? What's that all about?
It's a cycle of violence. I'm sorry.
It's an abuse cycle. I gotta go eye drops now too.
Jay, you talk like somebody who's never been punched in the mouth.
I've never been punched in the mouth. That's true. I've been hit in the face
Yeah,
with things
it
before, but I've
shows.
never been punched in the mouth. That's
It
true.
shows, Jay. I
Thank
love you.
you.
I'll see you later, honey.
Bye, Miss Julie.
Bye.
All right. I'm not crying. My eyes are a little red. I went after it last night. You're a vision in forest green. Thank you. Thank you. I was worried about wearing forest green. I thought because you use the green screen, I thought it may bleed through and you'd see right through me. We're gonna go with just a guy. Only 5 minutes in, it's off the rails. Hey,
Hey, can you hear me?
yeah.
Hey, I only got about like 5 minutes. I'm a Nikki Haley guy myself. I used to work in DC, and I used to work with an org that worked pretty closely with her. Yeah, I think she's real solid. I'm a Nikki Haley guy.
Okay, where do you feel like she represents like your views?
I really think foreign policy. The GOP has always had an isolationist bend, but for the past, God, how long ago was like 1980 at this point?
What do you mean they've had
30
an
years.
What do you mean they've had an isolationist bend? What are you talking about?
The G I was just getting there. Historically the GOP has had an isolationist bend. The past 40 years it's been very neoconservative dominated, which is very like interventionist. And that is the type of conservative I am. So with
An
the some
interventionalist or a isolationist?
interventionist.
All
So
right.
with the isolationist wing kind of coming back in the form of like Trump and the Trump wing of the faction, I just think she's the best on that field.
So you're a big fan of stepping in Ukraine, stepping in Israel.
Yep.
Interesting. Why do you feel like that's the best? It's interesting to hear this from a Republican. So I'm not going to push back too much. I'm interested in how you feel because, like you said, most Republicans now the popular thing to say is no new wars. We don't go to war. We don't need to be all over the world. We need to take care of our people first.
I would
What?
think I would think that's I would push back a tiny bit. I think that's the loudest voice, but I do think the raw majority of Republicans do support intervention, not full blown military intervention, but do supporting Ukraine and Israel. I just think it's the loudest minority
It,
that's more unified in
yeah. Do you feel
opposition
like
against
that's
it.
like the actual silent majority? They're just afraid to say that because honestly, for I'm not on the right, but
Sure.
I've said specifically, I think that if the Republicans put up Nikki Haley, Joe Biden would be in a lot of trouble. I think she's the most electable person on the
No,
GOP
I would
stage.
agree. I,
Um,
I don't think I don't want to use the word silent majority because that has like a very like conspiratorial bend to it, but it is
well,
the
so
type
does
of
the
thing where
GOP,
it's
so that's all right.
well, I mean more as like a term that exists, but it's the type of thing where it's like, hey, if you look at the Republicans in Congress, the majority of them are voting for aid to these countries. I'm willing
Correct.
to bet that the majority of them are going to win their reelection. So either the majority of the GOP elect, or excuse me, at least not lose it to another Republican that's anti those things. So
Do you think they're
I
just
would say,
able to, do you think they're just able to do that? Here's what I
sure.
think. Because every time I have a Republican come up here and talk about how they don't want to support foreign wars, I can bring all these funding bills up that exactly what you said, everybody voted for
Yeah.
them. Do you think they just are able to like they hold those standards, they vote for those policies, but they're not outspoken about it because they know it doesn't win them anything? Is that why you think it's never talked about? Like it
Foreign
doesn't give you any
policy
points to say that, right?
Yeah, foreign policy is rarely the thing that's going to win the day in an election. That is just kind of how it tends to be.
That's right, America first, baby.
Yeah. I think how do I explain this? There is a Republicans and Democrats. I reject the notion that Republicans and Democrats are the same. I know it's common, like the type of thing where it's like, oh,
who are you,
no,
dude? Who the fuck are you? You're the most sensible Republican I've ever talked to. Where did you come from? Why are you being honest and transparent about your positions?
I'll give you a little hint. A lot of Republicans that actually work in politics are probably not the type
work
that
in politics. Got it. Yeah, I agree with you. I used to work in politics in the GOP, and that was one of the shocking things with Trump, is who I thought was smart. They all lost control.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep going.
But that being said, there is generally an established foreign policy consensus. There's obviously different opinions on like the extent and how much, blah blah blah. But like Republicans and Democrats do generally believe that America should be running the world. We should be taking the first step. We should be leading from the front, etc. So there's not that much a need to like talk about it in Congress, because it's like, of course we're going to back Ukraine over Russia. Of course we're going to back Israel over Hamas. Now there's this minor wing of the GOP that's like having the House Freedom Caucus that's having like an uproar over it and is fighting it, and they're talking about it. But that
could just be gas. We're not sure. You're never sure with the Freedom Caucus. Sometimes they're just a little sensitive or moody. So
I'm not a House Freedom Caucus guy. There's a lot of House Freedom Caucus reps that like I respect, and I think you're fighting for what you believe in. But there's also a lot where it's like, this is an ego trip. You just like being a grenade thrower. You're just trying to run for like governor of Florida in 4 years.
Can I give you? Yeah, I wonder who that was. That was. Could I give you the House Freedom Caucus names, and you just tell me like good or bad?
It's a shorter list than most. I'll say the ones. Good. I really like. God, I have to pull it up myself. I really like Chip Roy. Hear me out. He's a thorn. No. Let me be clear when I say I like Chip Roy. I don't mean I agree with Chip Roy on everything, but I believe he's not just being a like contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian to like raise his public profile.
So you think those are his authentic beliefs? I probably agree with that. Yeah.
As opposed to someone like Matt Gaetz or Lauren Boebert, who I'm just like, oh, you're just trying to like get on Fox News and do some fundraising and
So with Chip Roy, if you don't like what he's saying, at least you think that's really what he believes. That's the delineator there.
Yeah, but the difference, but when metal, well, that is correct. But when metal hits. I'm
so happy right now. You have no idea how happy you've made me this morning.
But here's the thing. When rubber hits the road, you can work with those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Chip Roy has come to the table, and Chip Roy has signed like consensus bills. The Republicans that like revolted against Matt Gaetz, with Nancy Mace being a weird exception, because I genuinely didn't see that coming. Like,
that was out of nowhere.
There's no negotiating with them because they're not interested in legislating. They're interested in just like going nuts and doing their own thing and like blah, blah, blah. So like Chip Roy is maybe more like lethal when it comes to getting his stuff done, but he is willing to come to the table and talk. And in my opinion, that actually makes you like a representative, like you are interested in doing the job of legislation.
Yeah. Now I'm not gonna give you an out here and give you Matt Gaetz, and I'm not gonna give you Jim Jordan either. But the two worst Freedom Caucus members outside of Matt Gaetz and Jim Jordan.
Oh my God. I mean, Lauren Boebert. That might also
Boebert,
be another
is it Boebert now? Is she Stephen Colbert?
Oh, that might be me. Does she say Boebert?
I think it's Boebert. Yeah.
That's embarrassing. It is one of those things, one of those weird things where you work in politics where it's like, God, I've seen this name written 1,000 times. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say it.
Yeah, it's got to be Boebert. It can't be Boebert.
Interesting, Boebert. Excuse me. Byron Donalds, I think he hasn't been there long enough for me to develop like a super locked in stone opinion about him. But I do think he's drifting that way, and I do think he can be a problem.
Yeah.
I guess technically George Santos has also attached himself to the House Freedom Caucus, so I guess he would be number.
Count. He doesn't count.
Yeah,
He's
well, yeah.
Okay, I just want to know my guy, my Congressman Andy Biggs.
Oh God, I forgot about Andy Biggs. Yeah, yeah, he's a tough one.
He sucks, dude. He sucks so bad. He's not even like a bright guy. He does town halls every week, and it's like a QAnon like Q&A. And he validates all of it.
I'm very torn about Andy Biggs as a person, or excuse me, Andy Biggs' like story, because Andy Biggs is the one that like won the lottery and used that to like.
No, he won Publishers Clearinghouse.
I thought Andy Biggs like won the lottery, and
that's it was Publishers Clearinghouse, or maybe it was Reader's Digest. It was one of those two.
Was it like a random contest?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of torn on it because part of me is like, man, it shouldn't take a random guy winning the lottery for like an average citizen to run for Congress. But then there's part of me, it's like, ooh, maybe just like the average guy on the street shouldn't.
Yeah, well, he did get a law degree, but that law degree was from BYU.
For sure.
So that may cancel it out. I do have, my Discord wants to know, obviously, Nikki Haley's your choice. If it came down to Trump and Biden.
Yeah, man, I would have to sit that one out on the presidential election. You just
can't do it.
Man, it's the type of thing where it's like, listen,
doesn't Biden reflect foreign policy wise? Biden's kind of in line with you, right?
That is also part of it. I mean, there's a lot of things I think Biden gets. Well, here's my opinion on the presidency. Really the only thing that fall directly on the presidency's plate are foreign policy and just running the executive branch. I know we give the president a lot of stuff.
Who is this guy? Why does he... Talk to your friends, dude. You gotta talk to your friends.
I'm just a guy.
I say this to Republicans, like, no, that's not his job. It's like, what the shit? Yeah. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
So for me, it's like foreign policy and just running the affairs of government. And for me, Trump's foreign policy was just an absolute bust. I think the only thing he did right was Iran. Everything else was just like a toss-up in the air and like didn't do great. The economy was good, but we could have gotten that out of like any other Republican with a lot less of the hassle. I don't think anything was particularly inspired. And in terms of like the affairs of running the state, I mean, like, I'm a Republican. I'm not like pro-insurrection. I generally believe in the in the institutions of government, even though I think they should be reasonably small and constrained. So it's just the type of thing where it's like I don't respectfully, I don't fear Joe Biden so much that I think Donald Trump is a necessity of a pick. If you want my hot take political insider, here's my palace intrigue. I think Trump is gonna win the nominee, get arrested, and they're gonna scramble for a nominee at the convention.
And you think they're gonna try they'll just coalesce around one at the convention? So, but what about
there'll be a convention fight.
And you think will be so they'll contest? I can't remember what the process of that is at the convention.
Basically, all the delegates get together and just vote at the convention.
Right, but what would the process be to try and get you're going to have to sway delegates? Is that the idea?
Yeah, basically.
Interesting.
It's basically
let's let it happen.
I mean, I don't know if the candidates would literally be there, but them and their surrogates would literally be in where is it? Orlando this year. Milwaukee, I think Milwaukee was at the Democrats. They'll be in whatever
all the best places.
Yeah, Milwaukee. Honestly, they'll be in whatever city, whatever swing state they need to win. They'll be in whatever city they need to be in, and basically just convincing delegates.
So all right, please let all of this happen. This is so you still couldn't find your way. What if you're in a swing state? Let's say I'm in Arizona. Arizona's going to be tight with Trump and Biden. What if you're in a place where you do think your vote actually matters?
That's actually a good point because I did grow up in California and I do currently live in Texas. So votes have always been more of a little bit of like an honor thing for me. Um, man, in 2016, I probably would have bit the bullet. In 2020, I maybe would have bit the bullet. In 2024, it's just not worth it.
It's just not worth it. You're still just sitting it out.
It's just not worth it. It's just no. I mean, I'll vote like down ballot for stuff. I'm not going to not vote. I'll vote down ballot.
Not president. You just got to sit it out.
No,
that's wild because you kind of like if foreign policies are a big thing. That's why I was asking. It just seems like Joe Biden represents a lot of what you would like. You're sensible, so you probably have sensible tax ideas. You probably have sensible ideas like he's cutting deficit spending. Seems like you would like that. He didn't embrace single payer health care.
Well, let me say this. Biden is in my humble opinion the most reasonable Democrat that was on the stage.
That's why he won.
With maybe the exception of Tim Ryan. I did really like what Tim Ryan had to say on stuff, but Biden and Tim Ryan, there wasn't an incredible amount of air between the two. There are also just some super practical things. I am socially conservative, even though Biden isn't like the wildest progressive in the world. I still am socially conservative. Economically, I know this is a little unfair, or at the very least, like not fair to the Democrats, but like if the stock market does tend to take a bump when Republicans get elected, regardless of how earned that is just genuinely better for me as a person.
Yeah, but that bump is just temporary, right?
Sure, but cash out.
I guess if you're playing the stock, but you don't even have to vote for Republican. If your vote doesn't matter, you don't even have to do that, right?
That's fair. But if my vote doesn't matter,
okay, if it does matter,
what I don't like, you know what I mean.
So you'll take that bump over foreign policy.
I mean, for me, it's just the type of thing where it's like it's Trump is confusing because it's the type of thing where it's like. I am genuinely more concerned about a second term. Also, once again, just given the state, I'm currently living in the state of Texas. Biden is not going to win the state of Texas, so I don't feel the need to like break my GOP voting record.
You what do you get? You have a streak going? Do they send you gifts?
I get a gold watch when I qualify. I get a gold watch when I qualify for Social Security. No, I mean, for what it's worth, I think Biden is the most sensible candidate that the Democrats currently have. But I mean, I like a lot of people, I'm on the like anyone under 65 party, you know what I mean? At this point, like I'll take like just anyone that, doesn't qualify for Social Security.
What age demographic do you fall in?
I'm 28 in like a couple months.
Okay, so is that millennial or is that where we at?
It is like the last of the millennials.
The last of the millennials. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. You're very sensible. You sound like the Republicans I used to know when I was a Republican that all turned into lunatics. So well done surviving 7 years of Trump. You've done well. I gotta
say, man. I mean, you're right, and it's fucking rough. It's really fucking rough because it's just the type of thing where it's like, and like, if this was like the whole of the GOP. I would probably fully jump ship, but it's just the most frustrating thing because it's the loudest voice, it's the most dominant voice, but it is only like 30-40% of the vote. You know what I mean? So it's not even like the end all be all. But
what if Republicans pulled a wild card and coming out of that summit in Park City, they're like, we're putting Mitt Romney back up?
Oh, I was a big Mitt Romney fan.
That's what I thought.
Mitt the Storm and Norman. Yeah, fucking. I mean, I was a big Romney fan. I was a big McCain fan. I mean, those were tough elections, though. Obama was a real formidable candidate. Those were tough elections.
Well, look, I gave you a follow. I would love to talk to you again. Every once in a while, I need like a palate cleanser, and you can be my ginger.
Hey, man, just message me. I'd love to come on.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
See you, brother.
See it. Bye.
All right, fuck
it. The ones I said this morning. Like, could I find a sensible Republican? The closest thing we ever get to a sensible Republican is like a super moderate Democrat. That was interesting. I loved that. Where'd the people in the box go? Jay's lip gloss brings all the reasonable boys to the yard. You're goddamn right. You are goddamn right. Tired. Fox was tired. Some people were tired of him. They're like, we can't do this much agreement. We can't have this kind of conversation back and forth. We got to get after him. Dude was articulate. Had some decent thoughts. Yeah, look, I appreciate his candor and his honesty. He's not an extremist. There's so many people that aren't extremists, but they just became extremists because of Donald Trump. And as soon as he's gone, they'll abandon all that. That'll all go away, but there will still be the extremists. I want to eat him? Did I say I want to eat him? Did I say that? Did I say I want to eat him? Oh, because I said he was my palate cleanser? Okay. There we go. Never mind. He watches politics as a sport from his ivory tower. Yeah, fair enough. The lip jokes are crazy. He'd be my ginger peapod. All right. Let's go. Where did somebody wanted to ask me a question, Jen? Did they leave? I don't know what that. There's a lot of people. I think maybe some people think I was in a live last night longer than I was, because I have a lot of people asking me questions about HVAC. I don't think I was there very long. I got a headache. He was just screaming, so I said, "You ruined my night." But he didn't ruin my night. To be very clear, he did not ruin my night. I went and I picked up some firewood, and I sat by the fire for like 2 hours last night and just stared into the sky. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was about 10 minutes. Where is my comfy? I don't know where it is. It's a little warm for that. A little warm for that today. Thought I hung it up. Doesn't look like I hung it up. So last time was $1.20 under. Oh, we're probably. Are we talking? Are we arguing gas prices in the comments right now? Is that what's going on? What is going on? Chelsea. Kelso. Is it Kelso or Chelsea?
I'm not an op, but
no. Yeah, thank you.
I just want to know your thoughts on when he glossed over being a social conservative. I saw some other comments asking the same thing. And honestly, I feel the same way when people say they are fiscal conservatives. Like, what that says to me is, they're the taxation is theft people that don't want schools to be funded.
Right. That's what they mean, but they can't say that. Social
so
conservative
doesn't sound very reasonable.
Well, it would depend what I would imagine. Listen, it's not reasonable, but it's reasonable for a Republican, right? Like, I think there's most Republicans are social conservatives. Most of it, like they all, even the open-minded Republicans largely have really, really like strict limits on how far their social conservatism goes. Basically, anything that was generally accepted like 10 years ago. Or newly accepted like 10 years ago, like gay marriage. They're finally getting on board with gay marriage. Like, yeah, we've seen the fruits. We're okay. I didn't mean that in that like the fruits of.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I did not mean that as a slur. I'm so sorry. Okay. I meant it as like the fruits of the bill. Yeah, I didn't want somebody to clip. Somebody's gonna clip it, but I didn't want that to be clipped out of context there. But yeah, that's like those are like social conservatives.
Dig into that.
Well, that was my exact thought process when he said that. Is I was going to ask him about abortion and those, but I'm like, I'd like to talk to him again. Oh, she's gone. I want to talk to him again. I'm getting reported. Socially liberal and fiscally conservative isn't a thing. True. All right. Oh, there was somebody else in the box and they took off. I don't know who that was. All right. Well, I did my best. I finally got canceled. Hey, Duke.
How's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Well, man. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, just good? Okay.
Yeah.
Looking for a little more, man.
I'm terrific. I'm terrific, man. How are you?
That's what I like.
There we go. Sorry about that. Didn't bring the energy.
It's all good, buddy. Are you Republican?
No.
Do you want me to answer?
No, I'm not
No?
Republican. No.
Okay.
Did you want to
Um,
answer that one of those ones or both?
yeah, sure.
Love it.
One of the big things that I stand for is the is pro I'm pro-life.
Okay.
I'm pro-life all the way, regardless of
No exceptions.
no exceptions, and
Whoa.
it's very controversial. I understand. I do. And coming from a male, I understand like I respect others' opinions, right? I'm not like, you know, and the reason behind that is I just think I'm just big on I think all human life regardless um is sacred
Okay.
and meant to be uh like they're meant to be born. Now
So
if
it's like a religious thing,
no, and honestly I'm not that religious of a person, to be honest. Yes,
S-
I was
or like
raised.
destiny, or like what do you believe when you say they're meant to be born?
I think it's just morale. Like with humans, we have a consciousness of morality, right? More than
Uh
any
huh.
species. So with that being said, I think it's our obligation to recognize that and I mean just from my standpoint, I think knowing that it's just important to me that we um, allow any life that has been started to
Okay.
progress to the point of you know like a human baby, and then
Do you?
like after that.
What about contraceptives? Are you okay with contraceptives, like birth control?
That yeah. Hmm.
That's all good. So for you, it's what, the moment of conception, or is there a
Yeah,
stage?
the moment of conception.
The moment of conception. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And you said that's because you just feel like everybody should have equal rights?
The right. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Like
I mean, what do you mean by that? By equal rights?
we said everybody has the right to life, right?
Yes.
That's what I was wondering. Do you just feel like everybody should have like equal rights? Or
Mhm.
is it only once you're conceived?
So yeah, it's tricky. Um,
That's a weird
I
thing to be tricky about, right?
no,
You don't
I
think
get it.
everybody should have equal
I get what
rights?
you're saying. I think once it's in the developmental stage, so like Plan B, for example, right?
Hmm.
You know, so um, that is fine.
Plan B is fine. Okay, so
Mhm.
when's the developmental stage that you start at then?
Would be beyond that point, like once essentially like
What's Plan B? Like I don't know for sure. I think like 48 hours or something like that. That's
yeah, like
basically
48 or 72.
okay. So post coitus, let's say 72. So anything past 72 hours post nut is you're not good with.
Right.
Okay. And that is because you believe that everybody has the right once that stage is started to complete that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. But you're not sure on like equal rights. You don't think maybe everybody's rights should be equal.
Um, what do you mean by like
That's what
not
I well
everybody?
that yeah, that's what I asked before. I said, so is it because you think everybody should have equal rights, or is it only like people should have equal rights when it comes to like the right to life, like after conception?
After conception, it's not like you're talking about unaliving,
No, I'm not talking.
right?
No, no,
Or
not
just in
not.
general, or what do you mean
Yeah, just
by
in general. Like I'm wondering, your belief that everybody has the right to life, does that stem from an idea that everybody has equal rights? Like, is that like your foundation? Everybody has equal rights, therefore they have the right to life.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I got you. I was completely lost for a second there.
Okay, sorry about
Um,
that. I might have been confusing. That
no,
could have been
no,
on
it's
me.
okay. No, I mean you're direct with your question. I think, uh, yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So, do you think that like men should be given any rights that like women don't have?
No.
Do you think women should be given any rights that men don't have?
No.
Okay, gotcha. So let's say like a man and let's just use myself and you since we both have rights. Um, do you believe you have the right to do like with your body whatever you want as long as you're not harming somebody else? Is that kind of where your belief is?
What do you mean with your body? That's kind of a generalized question. There's a lot that you can do. I can
Yeah,
punch myself in
yeah.
the face,
Essentially, you can do whatever you want with your body as long as it
get a
doesn't like,
tattoo.
yeah, as long as it doesn't harm others, right? Is that where, like, or do you think you shouldn't be able to do whatever you want with your body?
What are we doing to your body?
Uh, I mean,
As long anything at
literally could
all.
be anything as long as it doesn't harm somebody else, right?
Correct, as long as it doesn't harm another human life.
Okay, cool, gotcha. Now, can I do something to your body?
What do you mean, can you?
Can I do
Like,
something
can
that harms
you
your body, or like, let's
with
say I
permission
I
or?
tie my leg to your leg so that we have to walk everywhere together, or I surgically attach it while you're asleep. Can I do that?
Well, that would be quite an extensive process,
It
but
would, but I had really good like sleeping pills. Or
no, because probably that would cause harm if you were surgically like doing that. I mean, depending on
oh,
how
so
you were to surgically
okay,
do that,
so
and
so the idea then is the structure of your body, like the integrity of your body, you have full control over that. Like nobody else uh can have control over your bodily integrity, right? It's just your rights,
oh, I see what direction you went with that.
right?
As far as so you're talking about surgically attaching to yourself, you're going to prevent somebody
Sure.
from doing their
Sure.
like
Or
doing
let's just say you're asleep and I have a bad kidney, so I hook in and I'm using your kidney now.
you're harming me.
Yeah.
That's
But
going to
am I
cause
allowed to
harm.
am I allowed to do that?
No, because it's going to cause harm again.
Well, no, it's not going to cause harm. Your kidney can do it. Your kidney can handle it.
Yeah, but the process of it would cause pain
Pain. So pain. Okay, that's fine.
and harm.
So
Your harm, it's harm.
so if it causes pain, pain is harm.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. So I can't do that to you. Obviously, you couldn't do that to me. I couldn't do that to a woman. Everybody has equal rights. Why can a fetus do that to the mother? Is pregnancy painful?
Yeah.
Is the fetus using resources from the mother? Her
Well,
bodily
that's a
integrity
natural.
causing her
That's a
body and her biology to change?
yeah, it's a natural process
Gotcha. So why does the fetus get more rights than everybody else?
because it's a human. It's a life.
Right, but you don't have that right, and I don't have that right, and the mother doesn't have that right. If you believe that everybody has equal rights, why are you advocating that a fetus have more rights than than a born human?
Mm,
See what I mean? The thing is here is like it's it's okay to be pro-life personally, but when you're pro-life from like a legislative standpoint, you're stripping the rights of women. I understand completely the idea that like having sex then like conceiving a baby that for a lot of people, probably most people, that's sacred. It's something that they don't take lightly. And I think for a lot of people, they may not choose to have an abortion. But for what you're advocating is that your personal beliefs should strip the rights of women, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, they shouldn't be allowed to
So why not just be like
have
personally
any.
pro-life, but like legislatively understanding that women shouldn't have less rights than everybody else? So vote for women to have their rights, but then you and whoever you have sex with, like maybe have that discussion. Be like, I'm pro-life. Like this is what I want out of a relationship. If they're not pro-life, if they don't want to do that, and you don't want to date that person or have sex with that person, great. But like this idea of pro-lifers that they can infringe on the rights of women just because like they're personally pro-life. Do you see how that kind of takes away the rights of women and only
Mm,
women?
yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, yeah, because that's like my standpoint. So,
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch the gears a little bit, but it relate to
Cool.
what you're saying as far
Sure.
as like um trans women and trans men.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they should have rights for sure. I think that they should be allowed to go through the process, but because it doesn't directly affect me, though I don't think it's right. I don't think it's something that somebody should do with their body. I think everyone's, there's a reason that they're born male or female, and that's sacred to me.
Sure.
So, but if that's what they want to do, 100%, I don't
Yeah.
think that it should. I don't think minors should be like. I don't think it should be kind of. I don't want to say pushed on minors, but like I don't think that it should be like that. They should be like what's the word I'm looking for?
Banned, like that they shouldn't be able to get the care that they need. They shouldn't be able to make
Yeah, like I
some
don't
of
think
those
that.
decisions. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it could be talked about and say like, hey, this is something that we can, if you want to dress in women's clothes, men's clothes, and we can support you, name change pronouns, we can do that. But then like we'll get you on these, we'll start the actual like medical things like that.
Yeah.
And like therapy, that's another like tough one with that. But I guess I'm kind of rambling on as far as this.
No,
But
you're good,
I
dude.
see,
You're
I
good.
see your
No,
point
you're doing fine.
as far as like not agreeing with something and allowing other people to make their decisions on what
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah.
So,
Pro-choice. Legislatively pro-choice, morally pro-life. How about that?
it's just ironic though, because like a lot of people think that it's ignorant to not believe something is right, but then allow other people to do it. They're like, well, how do you have that stance? It's like, that makes perfect sense. I think mustard is disgusting, but I'm not going to
How
slap
dare you?
somebody's
How
sandwich
dare
out
you?
of their hand for liking mustard.
Right. That's
You
what we
know?
were founded on, right? That's why we didn't establish a religion. We don't
Mhm.
establish beliefs like that. It's pretty like you actually understand. I don't know what's going on today with you Republicans, but this is like back-to-back Republicans who were sensible, and it feels like somebody's playing like a trick on me.
What do you mean? Was there somebody else on?
Yeah, the person before was sensible, and now you're sensible, and it's really kind of fucking with me. Usually I'm
What do you mean
yelling
by
at somebody by now.
sensible? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry.
Sensible? Yeah, you can have a logical conversation and you can follow the logic, and they're like, yeah, that doesn't work. And suddenly you're like, yeah, oh yeah, that's right. I can have moral positions that I don't legislate. That's very sensible. It's very like
Oh, I
I'm
got you. Yeah.
impressed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I figured that's what you meant by it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on though, like, minors, being like educated more on like as far as transitioning? Like,
Um
what do you
like
think
in
that like
school?
yeah, do you think that like they should be allowed to like take a class that's like, hey, if if you want to transition, we're going to teach you everything about it. Say if that was like proposed, would that be something you'd support?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think that that kind of stuff I may be wrong. I don't want to speak for I've never transitioned, so I don't know if that would be beneficial or not. Um I'd have to hear some arguments, but my knee-jerk reaction is to say I still like that between the doctor and the parents. I don't really like the school being involved there.
Yeah, that's fair.
If that was, I mean,
I
I've never
agree.
heard of anything like that being proposed, but hypothetically, if that was proposed, I don't know. I still think I would just rather see those resources be poured into the child's ability to work with either their parents or just a therapist. I wouldn't want it as like necessarily a class.
I agree. I mean, I don't think it's not helping them get the education, which that's the
Yeah,
point of schooling, in my opinion, is to, educate for a benefit of society in the future
yeah,
in the workforce. So,
I agree.
okay,
All right.
cool.
Well,
Yeah,
who are you
that's
voting? Who are you going to vote for in the GOP?
Trump.
Trump?
Yeah, I mean,
Even in the primaries?
the primaries, probably. I mean, he's probably gonna get the ticket.
Is he who you want to get the ticket?
I'd want DeSantis personally.
All right.
Um,
Uh,
I just want somebody younger, to be honest, overall.
just remember, you're pro-choice now. You can't be going for DeSantis because he
Well,
wants that like 6 week ban.
that's
Remember?
one stance, though. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna not vote for somebody based off of one thing. Otherwise, I'd be bouncing back and
Well,
forth.
wouldn't that one be important though? Because you're talking about like your basic like your fundamentals all boil down to this idea that everybody deserves the same rights. An attack on anybody's rights is an attack on all of our rights. It seems like that would be the most important thing. Not simply because like you want your views or anybody else's views on abortion to be
I
legislated.
disagree
But
with that though.
well, what could be more so you would vote for somebody knowing he's going to try and strip the rights of women?
I personally, I'm not gonna lie. I think the whole abortion thing. I think yes, I don't know the exact statistic, but I honestly think there's other topics and other things that affect way larger of the population economically than the right to unalive a baby.
Do any
I,
of those strip the rights of somebody though? Any of those other issues that you think are more important? Do any of those uh, result in people losing their rights?
I mean, if we're talking about rights, I mean, there's one thing that's been shown, and like, I'm really big on the Second Amendment. So if we're going to talk about rights and that's one thing that's kind of been.
Yeah, Biden's not touching weapons. Trump did more anti-gun legislation than Biden. So I don't that's silly. But again, we're talking about somebody's fundamental right to have control over just their body. You don't think that's like you think there's rights that are being infringed on, like you think that having for example the Second Amendment, which was an amendment to the Constitution, which means it came after the Constitution. The Constitution talked about like the right to life, right? And that's what the government is supposed to do is take care of us. That's like the right. So and you go to the Second
Mhm.
Amendment, you would rather have like the Second Amendment than everybody have the right to do with their bodies what they please? That's pretty wild, dude. That's pretty wild.
Well,
Like I'm pro 2A. I have weapons. I've used weapons to defend my home from an invasion. I would give them
yeah.
up tomorrow if it meant that everybody had the right to their own bodily integrity. Tomorrow, I'd say, okay, fine. If I'm choosing one or the other, I'm going to choose people's ability to control what they do with their body. That's far more important to me than defending my home.
hmm Yeah, that's fair. Hey, not to cut loose. I gotta take this phone call though.
All right, brother. Be well.
Yep, take it easy, man. Nice
See ya.
chatting with you.
Bye. Relative. God damn, I thought we got somewhere, and then he went to Santis, and then he went to Santis, and that fucked with me a little bit. That's the problem that we have. The problem we have is that people can agree on this stuff, and they'll still vote against the women's rights. M. Brody, welcome.
Thanks, man. You
Got
can
some
just call
lovely
me
head lettuce,
Brody.
man. Look at that.
I appreciate it, bro. I've been
Yeah,
growing it out for like 3 or 4 years now. So
it's beautiful.
yeah, what should I call you? What's your name?
My name's Jay.
Jay. Nice to meet you. I was only
Nice to meet
like
you.
listening for the last conversation, so I didn't really hear any one before that.
Sure.
Um, like just to be candid with you, I don't know if I would really call myself a Republican, but I do like definitely. I'm more conservative, I would say. I like I'm pro-life, for example. I know that was a topic you just went over with
Yeah.
the previous. I was wondering if you would are you bored of that topic, or would you be
No.
interested in talking about more?
No, we can talk about it.
So one of the arguments that I heard you make was that pro-life people are basically arguing that children should have an additional right that no one else has, which is like a right to someone else's body. And you're saying like that's a ridiculous thing to claim. Like why should fetus have a right to someone else's body when no one else in society has a right to someone else's body, right?
Correct.
I would just say maybe this might be a really short discussion, but I guess I just disagree with that. Like, I feel like children absolutely do have a right to their parents' resources. I think that if,
What do you
I
mean by
mean,
resources, though?
like, it is a parent has a moral obligation to provide their child with what it needs to stay alive. And
And a legal obligation.
yeah, I'm not really. I mean, obviously, what I'm arguing though is like the law. I think could be wrong, and I'm not trying to make like a legal argument, but that is a good point to bring up though. Like, I just think that those same entitlements should apply within the womb as they do outside of the womb.
Well, it's not the same thing, though, right? As a parent, Um, Even as a parent, I'm under no obligation for my 3-year-old daughter to give her any part of my body at any point. I'm under no legal obligation to do so. There are no rights being stripped from me. I accepted that I was going to be the parent, that I was going to be legally obligated to take care of my child, and that's where we're at. But like if my child needs my finger, I do not have to give my child my finger.
Well, yeah, and this is something I heard you bring up in the last conversation, and I would agree. I'm wondering if you see a difference here, though, because like my kidney, which you brought up in the last conversation, it works for me. It is designed for me, for my body. My finger is the perfect fit for my hand. It is for me. But it seems like when we look at something like the womb, it is designed for who? Like it's designed for
I
the
mean,
baby. Like
people
that's
get
like
people
that's
get kidney transplants all the time. People have digit fingers that don't work all the time. You're just
yeah,
talking
but
about
I
like
would
this.
never.
The only reason it works for you is because it's on you. It's not like it's specifically designed
No,
like and
yeah,
couldn't be used like in other ways, right? Or on something else. It's just because that's what you came with.
right, right. But I would never hold somebody morally responsible to give something that is like for them to someone else. But it seems like the womb is for the child.
It seems like, what do you mean it seems like?
I mean, if you look at the anatomy of how the womb is constructed, its purpose it is for keeping a child alive. So to say that it's like equivalent to taking something that was working functionally for you and giving it to somebody that like it's foreign to, just kind of seems like it doesn't like the analogy doesn't work to me.
Sure. Well, yeah, a vagina is meant to accept a penis, right? Does that mean we all just have the right? If that's what
No,
it's for,
absolutely not.
do we just all, I know this, I know you're maybe a Trump guy and he may have a different opinion on this,
Oh,
but
I'm
like,
definitely not. I'm definitely
I
not
don't,
a Trump guy.
yeah, just because something's designed to do something specific doesn't mean that other people get the right to it, right?
Yeah, but what if like I feel like if you're putting the child into that state of dependence, then you have some sort of moral obligation to see it through. Like it's not like some child has like an alien has snuck its way into your body. It's like a product of your body. So
So if you allowed me to hook myself up and use your kidney, right? And now my life is dependent on you. But then your kidney starts not functioning quite as well, and you met a girl online in let's say Finland, and you want to move, but I'm not moving to Finland because who the hell wants to live in Finland? Well, do you have to stay there since you gave me I'm dependent on you. I'm dependent on your kidney. Can does that mean you're stuck for life? You can't do anything else because you put me in that state of dependency now, didn't you?
so like you're saying if I put you in a state where you have to rely on my kidney, like I don't know, like a
Mm-hmm.
car accident or something,
Mm-hmm.
then I would have no choice to like under like the pro-life view you're saying, I would have no choice but to provide that for you. Like I couldn't do anything else with my own
Couldn't do
life.
anything else. Yeah, you've consented, so now once you consent, you can't withdraw that consent.
Yeah, okay, there's just like so
So you
much
don't
that
think
just
consent is revoke? You think consent is irrevocable?
I think in many situations it is, and I think you would agree with me. Like if you agree to watch somebody's kid for the weekend and then halfway through you just revoke your consent and leave the kid outside, like that wouldn't be
That's
permissible,
not
right?
that's
Like
not consent. That's just leaving your
oh, sure it
duties.
is. You're consenting to the child using your resources and your time and all that. So at any point you can revoke that consent according
Yeah,
to you and just
yeah,
begin.
if you were responsible, that'd be child endangerment, I believe. It's a
Yeah, and
crime.
that's what I'm trying to argue is that it's the same thing within the womb. Like if you're responsible for this child and you
No, no,
you
no,
can't
because
just
no,
yeah.
because here's the part you're missing. You're missing the
Okay.
part about using your body.
Yeah,
The
your
the
body
child
that
the child that you're carrying, the your friend's children that you're caring for, they still have no right to your body. You have the right to withdraw consent for anything regarding your body at any time, right?
um I wouldn't say so to your own child
Okay,
though.
so
Like
could you give me an
to see
example though that's about your body?
Yeah, if let's say you are, and this is a hypothetical, but let's say you're like stuck in a cabin in the woods and you have no food and you have a child with you and all you can do is breastfeed that child, you would have a moral obligation to keep that child alive, using your own body. And if you're refusing to, then I would say that would be like neglect and like endangering the child's life.
No, you've already accepted the obligation at that point to raise the child. The obligation you've accepted a different
But you said
obligation.
it can be revoked.
No, that cannot be revoked. That cannot be revoked. It's a different obligation than a child that is completely dependent on your body at all times, goes with you at all times. You can't put the child down. It's literally attached to you. The hypothetical doesn't
Well,
make any sense. The hypothetical doesn't make
not
any
if you get
sense
a,
because no, because if I am a mother, I can and I want to feed that child. I have lots of options. I can go and I can try and forage for food. I don't necessarily have to breastfeed. I can put it in a cup. There are ways that I can get around that, but the obligation I accepted was basically to take care of this child the best that I could. It's a different obligation than you took before the child was born.
so the obligation changes depending on the amount of options you have.
What's that? No,
You're
it
making the
changes. No,
argument
no, no.
that
It changes. No, no, no. It changes based on the legal obligation that you took as a parent.
okay, like I said, I mean,
But
I think
again,
the
you
law
still
can be
have no
wrong. I
legal
don't.
obligation to give that child your bodily integrity.
Do you think that you have a moral obligation?
Oh, I certainly like if I was a mother, certainly I would do that. Yeah.
Okay, so, well, I'm not asking if you would do it. I'm asking if you think that
Well, you're
every
asking me if
mother
I
in
had
that
morals
situation
or
would have
morals are
like a moral
mine.
obligation.
Yeah, you're asking my moral. Yeah, morally, yeah, I think I would.
Okay, so
But
this is
that's
why
that's
I
totally
believe in.
subject. But wait, that's totally subjective, though, right? Like my morality could be different than yours.
I don't believe in subjective morality. I know it's like probably a whole conversation we can go down, but
Fair enough.
I am
I
interested.
get I get the
Even
argument.
if you,
It would go in
even if I
circles, but
grant
that's
you,
fine
dude,
because we wouldn't
look,
agree on
even
that.
if
But that's I think we'd be stuck
even
down
if
there
I,
forever.
I know, even if I grant you though that it's just your subjective opinion, I guess that is what I'm interested in. So, just saying like, well, it's my subject. Like, is your point in saying, well, that's just my subjective morality? Is that you wouldn't feel comfortable making like a law or a provision to enforce this?
No.
Because it would seem to me like the reason we make all of our laws and statutes, it comes from at the bottom of it a subjective opinion we have about what's
Yeah.
right and
What?
wrong.
Yeah. What have you consented to? Like what's the obligation you've consented to when you have a child?
Um, the obligation you've consented to, I guess, to keep the
Guardianship,
child
right?
alive,
Essentially,
yeah, like to
guardianship, right?
protect it. Yeah, guardianship's a great way to put it. Yeah.
Sure. Can you revoke that consent?
Um, insofar as you're not endangering the life of the child, yeah.
You can revoke. You can transfer that, right? Like I was adopted. That
Yeah.
was transferred to somebody else,
Yeah,
right?
but
And if
going through
those
the
and
adoption
if
process
those
is
parents wanted to surrender me, they could too, right?
right. But going through the adoption process
Can you?
is part of being a good guardian. It is like, I'm not just going to leave you out in the wilderness. I'm going to find you a home because that is my duty as your guardian. Now, if I were to say,
Right.
well,
So,
you
but
can just revoke
can you
this
transfer
consent at
that
any
when you're
time.
can you transfer that when the child is in development in utero?
No, not before the
No, you
point of
can't.
viability.
Right? So then
So, but I don't,
it's
what does that
totally a
change though?
bodily. So then it's back to a bodily integrity argument. Do you or do you not believe that everybody has the right to their own body? And you're advocating that the fetus is granted more rights than everybody else.
Well, I'm not the only one arguing that the fetus has more rights. I mean, you're arguing that the mother has more rights. The mother
No,
has
I'm
the right
not.
to
No, I'm
end
not.
its.
No, 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 no. I'm not at all. I'm arguing that the mother has the exact same rights as you and the fetus. We all have the same rights. But I'm not allowed to use your body without your consent. Not allowed to do it.
But the mother's allowed to infringe on the body of the fetus,
No, no, no.
which
All
no one
she's
else.
saying is you can't use my resources anymore. That's
And if
it.
we would take that same example in any other circumstance, that would be unacceptable.
What other
If you just,
circumstance?
like, if you have a child that you're choosing not to feed or choosing to withhold your resources from, then that could be like neglect, starvation. Like,
Correct.
you would
And
be
that
morally
and the
responsible for
parent
that.
would what the parent wouldn't be forced to do. by the way, in any of those scenarios, is give up their bodily integrity for the child. The parent would likely go to jail, be stripped of their guardianship, and the state would find some way to get that child care, depending on what it would be. But what would never be the case is that the state would step in and say, give your bodily integrity to this child. Give them a kidney. Give them like whatever they needed. I don't even know what an instance would be. But
Can't you
the
make the
state
argument that
still
like,
is never going to say you have to give up your rights to bodily integrity. They'll never do that. It's
so this
only
might be a
it's only
stretch.
the only time that the state ever requires this is specifically for women and while they are pregnant. That means the
So
fetus has these extra rights. You and I don't have to worry about our rights being taken. The fetus doesn't. Only the mother. The mother is the only person whose rights are allowed to be infringed upon.
okay. So this might be a stretch, and you might not agree with this, but I just want to run this by you and see what you think. Could you make the argument that your resources and your like the food that you have and the money that you've accumulated and like your labor are all extensions of your bodily autonomy? Like
No,
this is all extension. So
no.
like it's literally it's like black and white for you. Like a child could use as much. You could make the mom as tired as she could be. She could use like all her energy in like providing for you. That doesn't count as bodily autonomy. But as soon as
No.
it's like physical skin to skin
What's
contact, that's where
no,
it changes.
what's the difference?
It isn't. So you do
Consent.
think it's the same?
The difference is consent.
Oh yeah. So if the mother stops consenting
Right.
to
So
allowing for the
if yeah,
this is my whole point. If the mother stops consenting to allowing the child to use these external resources she have that she like such as her own labor, then it should be just as okay as her saying like I don't want you to use my body
why?
because it's a consent thing. You just said it's all about consent
Consent to what?
to using her body. Like
No,
it's,
no,
I'm
no,
not.
no.
You
You
seem to have a
don't. The
black and
mother is
white view
not.
of like
No, no. The mother's consented to guardianship. If a mother decides to stop taking care of the child, she's revoking her consent to guardianship. Now, there's legal ways to do that, and if she doesn't do it the right way, there are legal implications as well, and there could be implications for the health of the child as well. Like that happens. There's bad moms everywhere. It happens. But what's different here is that they are not ever told that they have to give their actual body, their actual bodily integrity is to be infringed for that child. The only time that happens is during the developmental stages, during pregnancy. That's the only time that happens. It only happens to women. It doesn't happen to men. It doesn't happen to fetuses. But for some reason, we just look at women, we're like, well, because you're capable, you don't get as many rights.
um okay, I don't want to like beat this dead horse too much, but just like for clarification, when you talk about bodily autonomy
Integrity.
that women have,
Not
sorry,
autonomy,
bodily
integrity.
integrity,
Yeah.
integrity. You're specifically talking about like skin to skin contact
No.
because it seems like the effort and the energy that the mother expends would, in my eyes, like constitute as bodily integrity.
Okay, so it's self-determination of your own body, of what your
Yeah,
body
yeah,
does.
yeah.
Not so anything I do, anything my body does that makes money, the money that I generate has nothing to do with my bodily integrity. It is not part of me. It is something that I used my body to produce, whether it be
Yeah,
money, whether
I'm
yeah.
just trying to say if you're a child and you need dinner and your mom's like, "Well, it would be sacrificing my bodily integrity to make you dinner because I don't want to move my arms that way. I don't want to move my body that way."
That would
But you
not
would say,
no,
"No,
it's not the same
actually."
argument. No, it's not the same argument.
Okay, so where's the line for you?
The
Where does it
line,
become
okay,
bodily integrity?
bodily integrity is the structural, like, yeah, your structural body, right? You have control of everything within the structure of your body. That's it. That's the whole thing. Your organs, your skin, your bones, your muscles, all of that. Everything that makes up the structure of your body.
Got you. Okay, so it's like an internal thing. Okay, that makes sense. So thank you for being patient with me on that.
No worries.
Okay, I just want to try one more angle on this and see what you think.
Okay.
What I feel like I would make the argument that um, if you are consenting to sex, then you are consenting to the repercussions that are known to come along with sex. I'm guessing you would disagree with that, though.
Yeah. You know why?
So,
Because I feel
why is
like
that?
because a woman can just say, I'm only consenting to sex. I do not consent to getting pregnant. If I do get pregnant, I don't consent to carrying this baby. I consent to sex.
Yeah, the difficult thing for me though is to understand what you mean when you say I don't consent to getting pregnant, because you can't consent to a biological process. You
What
don't
do you mean you can't?
consent to having your period. You don't have consent to like, being hungry. Like this is all things that
It doesn't.
happen in
It
our body
again.
without
It's back.
consent.
It's back to a bodily integrity argument, right? You can withdraw consent to anybody using your body. Anything that is using your body, anything in this case, when a man in this case loves a woman and they use each other's body for that process, the woman is saying, this is the only thing that you're using my body for. I don't give consent for any of these other parts, and I'm just gonna get like, it's my body. I get to choose what to do with after that. Yeah.
Yeah, what you're talking about though is consenting to staying pregnant, like consenting to allowing someone to use your body. But the actual act of getting pregnant is not, it's not possible to consent to that. It's a biological
I'm not
process
saying no.
that
I'm not
happens.
saying that they're consenting necessarily to. I said I don't consent to get pregnant. Fair enough. I don't consent if I get pregnant to allow that baby to grow. I will not allow that baby to use my resources.
Okay. All right, and then I guess that brings us back to like square one where we were with the other one. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That's a good answer. Um, cool, sweet. I
I like that.
well, I don't know. It's like obviously people go like back and forth all day about this stuff, but I was curious on how you'd answer those questions, and yeah, I think that what you said makes a lot of sense. So,
All right, man. I appreciate it. It's a
hey,
good
thanks for
discussion.
having me on, man. I
You bet,
appreciate
man.
you.
Come by anytime.
See you.
See it.
All right.
We haven't yelled. Well, I haven't heard anything about Wuhan or voter fraud. What is going on today? This is crazy. This is crazy. Just looking for opposition in the box right now. I haven't talked to Chat Town, so you may not know that, but you may just had a point you want to bring up. Yeah, get it. Let's see. Sorry about that, Chat Town. I don't know what happened. Hey, Chat Town.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm not opposition.
That's all
I
right.
just wanted to put my 2 cents in with the topic for the two previous guests.
Sure.
I'm 54. I've had two, can I say the A word?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, I've had two abortions. One from a grape. Let me back up. I was a single mom at the age of 19. I went to college during the day. I bartended at night. I got great after work, and I decided to get an abortion. A friend of mine took me to Birmingham. Protesters, the whole 9 yards. I got my procedure. Everything was fine. Didn't have a problem. Didn't worry about it. A couple of weeks later, I don't know if you remember the Rudolph guy who bombed Centennial Park in Atlanta and then the
Yeah.
abortion clinic in Birmingham.
Yeah.
That's where I was a couple of weeks
Jesus.
prior. And the second time, I was pregnant to the man I'm married to now. I was driving to work and basically had a miscarriage in the Burger King bathroom. I had to go to the doctor. He wanted to see if my body would heal itself. I ended up having a DNC, which is considered an abortion. So living in Tennessee, I can't imagine being the young lady I was then and not having access to the procedures that I had in my younger years. So it's absolutely absurd for someone to think that I didn't deserve to have these things done because of my bodily autonomy. It's nobody's business. I just don't think those men should make decisions for us. And that's all I want to say. You're my first live. I love your lives.
Thank you. I was adopted with a mom in it, not as tragic a situation, but somebody who had to make that difficult decision, and talking with her about trying to make that decision is gut wrenching, and it's honestly like I am super super thankful that she chose to go through with the pregnancy, and I also think she might have made the wrong choice. Like I weirdly think that that her life might have been better had she not done that. I can't imagine how I would even process that if I was making that decision between like should I irrevocably change my life or should I get an abortion? I can't even fathom what that would feel like to be faced with that decision. And I think that's the thing that sucks when you hear a lot of specifically men talking about wanting to take away the rights from women. It's like, dude, there's no way. We'll never ever be confronted with a decision that is that difficult ever. That won't ever happen to us. And so to say like we know best or we should be the ones that are choosing what women get to do with their bodies, it's insane to me. And I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, no worries. Take care now.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. All right. I don't remember. Bob Woodabod, it's a boy. Mods are getting shout out for muting. Look, real quick, I do want to say this. I understand how tone deaf it is when you have two men talking about abortion. I get that. I try and approach it from a rights discussion. When it goes into anything medically, I will always bring up somebody that isn't me. When we're talking about just as a rights, I'll usually address that. But if it goes any further, I do not mean to speak for women. I just want to talk about the fundamentals of where do you believe rights start and where do they extend. So I want to be clear on that. Anyways, welcome.
Hey, dude.
Hey.
Did you forget about us this morning?
Did I forget about you this morning?
Yeah, we had a 10 o'clock tea time down here at Sun Lakes.
Yeah, I missed it.
That's the last time I invite you for a threesome.
That's right.
Oh, speaking of that, totally off subject, but I told my wife to DM you. I don't know if she has yet or not.
I don't know. I didn't see. That's yeah. Oh, that's right. Sorry for everybody in the chat hearing that. Don't worry about it. Starts off with a threesome joke and then says no, but seriously, I had my wife DM you. That's
oh yeah, they all know. It's fine. Can I just give you my 2 cents on this whole thing?
Please.
I think people need to mind their own fucking business. You know, you can think that abortion is good or bad or whatnot. Think it to yourself. You know, people just need to mind their own fucking business. If some lady down the street gets pregnant, I have no fucking right to tell her what to do or what to even think. I have no right to even know about it. So people just need to mind their own goddamn business.
I'm with you.
So. All right, well, I'm going to go. I got to go finish this round because we got people stacking up behind us.
Yeah, so, enjoy it.
Are we still on for Friday?
Shut up. Get out of here. Don't end me here. All right. Hull, what's up, dude?
Hey, how are you?
Wonderful.
I know what your background says because I can read, but I don't care to talk about the abortion topic. So,
yeah.
As a man, my opinion on the abortion topic.
Thanks, all. Appreciate it. El Jefe.
Wow, you must be dry today. You're letting the lib up.
That's right. That's welcome, lib. Yeah.
I just wanted to. I was actually requesting when your last long guest, the guy with the fancy hair over the side. That was just his picture. But anyway, I think I just want to say the easiest way to put it is that no matter what point in pregnancy or parenthood, you can give up this whatever obligation you think you have. There's only one point in the pregnancy that it may result in unaliving. and that's early in the first half of pregnancy or the first 2 trimesters. After viability, it can be induced birth. Anytime other than that, you still have the right to pass it on. There's just no reason to unalive it. And like you said, the obligation is there to, once you give birth, actually, in the United States, once a woman gives birth, she is legally the parent of that child. This is something I didn't realize until recently. Actually, I was kind of researching it, but all you got to do is give birth, and you have a legal obligation to this kid. And I think that's the way it ought to be too. I think that works. Because you can hand it off right away, especially if you're in a hospital or something, or if you're in a cabin in the woods, then you just have to wait until you can hand it off responsibly. Until then, you're legally obligated to take care of this kid, and I think morally too. And they get really confused because they just want to ask. They just want to ask, why can't I unalive my 4-year-old if I get tired of him, And it's just like, no, we don't give a right to unalive anyone. It just happens to be that if you remove yourself from the obligation when it's in the womb, it will result in the child's survival because it can't survive without you. But otherwise, there's no reason to ever think about unaliving. And it's very consistent, I think, despite their efforts to make it as inconsistent as they can. But anyway, I think I like what he said. Cool at the end, cool, sweet at the end, because he basically said, "Cool, sweet, I lost." So good job, RTP.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, bye.
See ya. Intolerant facts.
Hey, I know you looking for opposing things if you want me to drop back down.
No, what did you want to... Please don't be about abortion. Can we talk about something else, please? It's like 8 minutes
yes.
talking about abortion. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, I thought y'all was doing abortion, so
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
Except for the one guy. I'm not sure what y'all was doing there. It looked like y'all was trying to get your schedule together.
I don't know, but the last thing people need to hear is a bunch of guys talking about abortion for a bunch of hours. So I'd prefer to talk about something else.
Yes. So, do you think Ivanka gonna turn on Trump?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't think there's anything to turn on. They're just looking at the finances. It's pretty cut and dry. It's going to be a matter of what she knew. There's not really a turn. You're not turning it on him. We already know what happened. We already know what the documents say. It's about damages at this point. So they're just going to basically ask her, like, what did you know? How aware were you that they were inflating assets? And Ivanka will do probably a really good job of not answering any questions in any specific way. And when it boils down to it, Donald will throw both of his sons under the bus, and he does not give a shit about them, but he will defend. We all know it might be the only person Donald Trump would put before him. Probably not, but it's possible.
Hey, listen, I was just trying to think of something to come off with to get off the abortion.
I appreciate that. Thank
and that's
you.
like the most relevant thing going on right now.
I was really looking for an exit point.
And I don't think they stand for, I stand for equality for all,
Yeah, equality.
So
equality. I like that.
Equality.
Yeah, equality.
Equality. A lot of people come up and be like, "Oh, I'm not racist." But then they turn around and support people that are blatantly bigots. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe you can support a bigot without having some type of bigot mentality at some point. So that kind of beats it. So I try to tell people you got to be anti-racist. You can't say you're not racist. Just let's be anti-racist.
Yeah.
So that's what I stand for.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I like your profile picture there. That's beautiful.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's about what it's like, especially if you're voting for them, because they'll come in and be like, "Biden is a P3O." I'm like, wait, Trump was co-defendant of Epstein. Like, hold on. or the economy. Party. Hey, look, then they're like, the economy. Well, the economy's better now than when Biden took office.
Well, yeah,
It's like,
it is better now than when. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
and you know what I'm saying? So what are y'all basing it? Trump is the greatest. Well, when Biden took office, everything was crap.
Well, I don't
And
know.
now
We
it's a
had
lot
like
better.
two straight, at least politically. The first two guests we had here were very willing to admit that Trump wasn't very good. So maybe we're making inroads. I don't know.
Hey, maybe
It's been a weird day. It's been a weird day.
Wow.
And it will continue
Is that
to be
how
weird.
the day after Halloween normally is? Is that the day after Halloween effect?
No, what happens is basically every Republican, they just want to yell about trans people and about abortions. So no matter what I put up here, inevitably somebody's going to show up and talk to me about trans people and abortions. That's just kind of how it goes.
And the wall. Don't forget the wall. You know, all the border is wide open and people
so
are
open.
Flowing through
So open.
uncontrollably.
That's right.
It's so open. And they like 5% of the whole population of the United States is coming through. And I don't. What are we gonna do about it?
I don't know. Pray about it. I think that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers. I'm on
That's
thoughts and prayers.
All right, brother. Get to praying.
Right,
You gotta.
carry on.
I got a few more hours. So you get to praying for me. All right.
Which one you want me to talk to? Jesus or the white guy they call Jesus, or who you want me to speak to?
Yeah, dealer's
Okay,
choice
I'll have to
today.
flip it out. I'll flip it out for you. I got you, my guy. You have a nice evening.
You too. Bye. All right, now we're going opposition in the box. I wanted people. Look, I don't want to talk about abortion all day. Can we not do that? I just wanted to have the box open after that in case there were things people wanted to say. It's not my best subject. I probably should have. I probably should have cut off how many men in a row we had talking about abortion a little earlier. I want to be sensitive about that, but let me be real clear about it. I do believe that all people should have equal rights, and I do believe that it's okay for me to talk about and speak about abortion when we're talking about rights. I have a daughter. It's important for me to advocate that my daughter's future be a better place. And if we're talking about rights, we're not talking about the actual process. We're not talking about the lived experience. When we're talking about just lived rights, I'm going to talk about that. And if it's something that for some people is a little triggering, I get that. That's fine. You're welcome to DM me about it and talk to me about it. But I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm not going to shy away from difficult conversations that come down to rights because I don't have the lived experience. I don't think that that's the right way to go about things. However, I do think that when we talk about lived experience, when we talk about impact, like real world impact, then I think it's my turn to not talk and to be quiet. So I just want to be clear on that. And I apologize to anybody who I didn't give a warning to there. If you're frustrated by what we talked about today, my DMs are also always open. All right. Did anybody ever figure out what they said about what Josh Hawley said that made people so mad? Anybody figure that one out? Let's see. I don't know what he said. Anyways, here's the response by Mayorkas. If anybody can figure out what he said, send it in the Discord.
Absolutely atrocious. Mr. Chairman, may I?
Like, if you'd like to have a minute to respond, you are allowed to.
I would, and I'm not sure I'll limit it to 60 seconds.
That's fine.
Number one, what I found despicable is the implication that this language, tremendously odious, actually could be emblematic of the sentiments of the 260,000 men and women of the Department of Homeland Security. Number one. Number two, Senator Hawley takes an adversarial approach to me in this question, and perhaps he doesn't know my own background. Perhaps he does not know that I am the child of a Holocaust survivor. Perhaps he does not know.
All right, that's where it cut off. So apparently he was being critical of saying he was not pro-Israel enough. And that he sided with Hamas is what I'm hearing. That was Mayorkas responding. Josh Hawley is an embarrassment to Republicans. The two I don't know who was in the middle. He was flanked by Mitt Romney and I can't remember who else, and they looked absolutely miserable that he had just said that he's a garbage human being. If somebody has the context on that, will you DM it to me? That would be sweet. Again, trying to look just for opposition. I forgot to say it. Boxer Mom ×2. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Sorry, RTP. I actually accidentally clicked the button,
Okay.
but I actually do have something that I would just like to ask you if you've learned about or read about it.
Sure.
About that reporter on Ben Collins on excuse me, how a lot of people thought what Elon Musk was doing with Twitter was crazy and random and all this stuff, right? Well, there is apparently some anonymous source that sent him a 3,000-page playbook and he follows it to a T. It's like to take over the whole world, basically. And
I have seen this.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah. So, and I pulled up Ben Collins. I don't know why.
I think he was on Rachel Maddows.
I don't know why he wouldn't have this pinned. It's some of his best work. Yeah. It's essentially talks about how to buy Twitter, how to leverage your stock to buy. Which, by the way, this is the problem with billionaires. So Elon Musk makes an offer to Twitter. He uses his stock as collateral to make this offer to Twitter. Twitter accepts his offer, and then he goes to the banks and he uses that same stock for collateral to get the money to buy Twitter, and will not pay. But those are unrealized gains that we can't tax, by the way. Despite all of that, he told him what to do. He said, take over Twitter, basically let everybody back, and then when everything gets bad, when you start losing money, when the advertisers leave, blame the ADL. He put it like it's specific. Blame the ADL for this. Then you could start charging a user fee. He laid it out exactly what Elon Musk should do, and Elon Musk did it, which isn't that crazy considering that you can if Elon Musk ever says something crazy, go to his likes, go to his retweets, and you'll find where he got his crazy ideas. He seems to be educated entirely off of tweets.
Yeah, I mean, it's really scary and really bad because, there's like all this behind the scenes that people don't realize what's going on, and what their overall plan is to make America an authoritative country.
Yeah.
And it just is so crazy to me that the same people that are benefiting from the program have somehow programmed all these Americans for years that socialism's bad, right? However, those people are currently on socialism. They're getting paid insurance, but they're telling everybody else don't do it, but yet we do it, right? And it blows my mind how people are so ignorant on knowing that they're voting against their own best interests.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I don't either. I don't either.
Anyway, I just thought that was really. Didn't know if you had looked at that or what your opinion was of it, but it's really scary.
I heard about it a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and I think I heard about it on Majority Report, and then I went and I read it then, and then I haven't found it. I'm scrolling through Twitter as you talk, looking for it.
Excuse me. There's an interview if you want to look at it later or what have you.
Yeah.
He was on Rachel Maddow, and I guess this guy also
And they have almost the same haircut.
has gone into the deep web.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said they have almost. I saw the picture. Their haircut was remarkably similar. Rachel Maddow and
Right?
and Ben Collins. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
They're very similar.
I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
actually
pull it back up. I'm gonna find it again today, and I'll talk about it tomorrow. I need to find it. I've read it
it's
before.
also what he's been doing against like different races, right? And anyway,
Yeah, I'm gonna do some Elon stuff tomorrow. That's a good topic. I'm gonna try and get more sources, and we'll get there.
yeah, that would be great because
Okay.
I value what you have to say. I've learned a lot, and
Thank you.
Anyway, I appreciate it. I know you were looking for opposition. I accidentally hit the button, but I guess I already had
No,
that
this was a
pulled
good
up.
one. This was a happy mistake. I'm glad we had this.
Hey, good. Well,
All right.
I'll talk to you later. Thank you.
Sounds good. That's it.
All right,
All
bye-bye.
right. Who sent this? Cassie sent this. These are the texts that were sent. Let's see. Step 1, blame the platform for its users. Step 2, coordinated pressure campaign against the ADL. Step 3, exodus of blue checks happened. Step 4, deplatforming. And this is from... I did find it. All right, I'm going to cover this tomorrow. I'm going to make a TikTok about this later today, and I will cover it tomorrow. But thank you, Cassie. Now we've got the article. Thank you very much. Was somebody else in the box there? David. David, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Good, David. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm wonderful.
I was seeing you were talking about the Senator Hawley thing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. What had happened, there was a lady that works for the DHS. Her name is... What is her name? Nuja Ali.
Okay.
And she has 2 Twitter accounts. On the 7th, when the stuff broke out in Israel, she posted some things on a backup account that didn't show her government because she works for the DHS.
Yeah.
And it was one of the pictures was of a paraglider holding a machine gun saying free Palestine. And
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. Yeah.
yeah, and that's what he had a problem with. He asked if she had been fired because she said a bunch of other anti-Semitic stuff and went on a rhetoric.
Yeah, she said F Israel and any Jew who supports Israel.
Yep. Holly asked if she had been fired, and Mayorkas just kept averting, and they were both getting pissed at each other.
Interesting. Let me pull this up. So then Holly said, Mr. Secretary, what is going on here? Is this typical of people who work at DHS? This is an asylum and immigration officer who is posting these frankly pro-genocidal slogans and images on the day that Israelis are being slaughtered in their beds. Has she been fired? And what did he say to that? I guess I have the full exchange here.
He kept saying no comment, and then he said she's on administrative leave. And Holly's like, you put her on paid leave.
Let me see if I can find it here. Well, I'll watch it later. Okay. That's rough. I don't like that. I do think that though it's Holly grandstanding. Like, is this typical of the people that work at DHS? A little bit of grandstanding there. Maybe overblown.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen like there's literally people in Congress that have posted much worse than this, specifically on the side of Josh Hawley, and he's never said a word.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the lady, who's the lady they're trying to kick out of Congress right now? I mean, they're trying to censor her from Congress. They brought up articles the other day. It's one of the members of the squad.
Who brought up articles? I don't know. Is it Rashida Tlaib, I'd imagine?
Yes. No, not her. It's the other one.
The one. Oh, God, dude. Oh, God, dude. Don't say
the one
that.
from Michigan.
Ilhan Omar?
Yeah, it's Tlaib, not Omar. Because of...
I said Tlaib.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking Tlaib, and I misplaced Tlaib and Omar. But
yeah, so she was just censured, right?
She hasn't been censored yet, no.
Well, okay, but censure just means that doesn't mean removed. Did you know that?
Well, they're trying to bring it up for a full vote on the House floor to have her totally kicked out of Congress.
Oh, okay. Well, it's good to see Republicans standing up for against speech. It's good. I did see that the vote was 407 to 23. To condemn it, and all the votes opposed were Republicans. That's interesting.
I didn't see the full vote on
Yeah,
it. All I seen was
all the 23 people opposed to condemning what she said were Republican. It's interesting.
huh. So not even the members of her own squad voted with her. Wow.
Oh, I guess wait, this was to wait, never mind. Never mind. This is the wrong one. Sorry. This is to condemn anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, racism, and other forms of bigotry. That wasn't the
Oh,
Rashida.
okay, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. Right. It was Ilhan Omar that said it. Yeah. I don't know anything about that. I'll look it up. I'm not sure. I'd have to I'd have to have more details.
It was pretty crazy. But yeah, Holly. Yeah, he's. I don't know. Interesting character.
Yeah, he is. I'll check that out.
I see the topic you got. I've seen people have the abortion debate, and I noticed you wanted to get away from that, which is fine. So what is kind of?
I mean, if anybody wants to have it, I've got people who are willing to come up and talk about it instead of me. That's fine. I'm happy to take a back seat.
I am not a woman, so I'm not going to. But I mean, I have views that are not either pro or anti, but I have more extreme personal views. But
yeah, we'll leave those. We'll leave those for now. Let's pick a different topic.
So what other problems are you having with the Republican Party at the moment?
It's not necessarily problems. I don't really know what they stand for. It's a legitimate question. It's difficult for me to get a Republican to tell me, number one, what they stand for, and then who in the party represents what they stand for.
There's so much infighting right now. The only time they've come together is when they voted in the new House Speaker, and I haven't seen that much solidarity in a while.
After 14 failed votes.
I mean, they voted that guy in lockstep like the Democrats do.
Yeah, after 14 straight failed votes. Yeah, but what do you stand for? What are the things that are important to you that you feel like? I'm assuming you're a Republican. Is that right? Is that a fair assumption? Okay. So,
well, I mean,
what do you stand for?
Right now, I'm in Illinois, so I mean, the national stage isn't more of what I care about as opposed to the local government.
Okay.
Because Illinois is, as you know, it's extremely blue.
Right.
And they passed a law, was it last year? You have until, because they pulled all assault weapons. You can't buy assault weapons in Illinois anymore.
Okay.
And you have, in Illinois is the only state you have to have a separate card. You don't get to just purchase a weapon with your driver's license.
Okay.
You have a separate card totally you have to apply for just to buy a gun. And we're the only state in the union to have that.
Okay.
And by January 1st, you have to register any weapons because the ones you possess are already grandfathered in, but you have to register them.
Okay.
I mean, which, if you bought it anyways at a store, it's already, got full details, paperwork, paper trail, and your waiting period anyways. But the additional information they want, make, model, any extras you have on the weapon, such as sights, number of magazines you own, number of rounds of ammunition you own, just things that are incredibly, I think, wrong. But
what are the limits? Can you give me some example? Let's say, can you get is there an assault weapons ban there?
In Illinois, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so so can you could you get an AR?
No.
Okay, you can't get an AR. So you're saying there's limits on handguns or hand pew-pews?
No. Well, yeah, there is on some, the capacities. What they, right now we have until January 1st. Every citizen in Illinois who owns one of these weapons that is grandfathered in, you have to register it with the state, or it's a class 3 felony, and they will arrest you.
Yeah.
And there's a huge.
And you don't
huge
think
stance.
there's. So I guess my question is this: Why is all this a problem?
Well, Illinois has like one of the strictest gun control in the country, because we're the only state you have to have a separate card just to buy a weapon to begin with.
Yeah, you've said it like 3 times now, but I was just wondering why this is such a problem. Not like personally, why is this such a problem for you?
It's not a problem per se, as I already filled out a mountain of paperwork to have every detail on this weapon, because I knew this was going to happen, so I went and bought ARs before I knew this was coming down the pipe.
Okay.
So I bought them before, so it's grandfathered in.
Okay.
But now they want you to go to their website and, just fill out a mountain of paperwork on this shit again.
Okay,
if
so
they already have it.
So the most important, so what you stand for is not filling out paperwork? It's just, I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. Like what's got you upset about this?
You're a 2A guy, I heard you say.
Yeah.
And you would have no problem with that.
No, I mean, I'm looking at like the number one cause of death for children in Illinois. You want to guess what it is?
Abortion?
No.
Statistics will prove you wrong on that.
Well, only if you consider that a child. But for statistics outside of abortion, what's the number one cause of death for children in Illinois?
Probably gun violence.
Firearms, yeah. 183 a year.
Yeah, that's mostly Chicago.
Yeah. Black children and teens are 13 times more likely to be victims than white children.
That's gang violence. I mean, they don't want to do nothing about it. So
what do you mean they don't want to do nothing about it? We've been fighting the war on drugs and gang violence for a long time. So what do you mean nothing about it?
There's over 40 gangs in Chicago.
I know what the numbers are. I'm saying, what do you mean they're not doing anything about it? You mean it's not effective?
No, for instance, the last no, dang it, what was her name? The DA in Chicago. There was a shooting a year ago, and it was on. They released the body cam footage and everything. The police showed up. There were people shooting at each other. They arrested them, and they were out within like 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were called willful combatants. And none of them actually got charged with anything.
I'm pretty sure I've looked into this. I don't think this is a true... Let's see. Combatants. Chicago. Let me pull this one up. So the prosecutor rejected charges.
Yes.
So the prosecutor said this. They determined that the evidence was insufficient to meet our burden of proof to approve felony charges.
Yes.
Police report framed the state attorney's decision to decline charges in a different light. It's a police report. Mutual combatants was cited as the reason for the rejection. That's not what they said. If they do not feel like the criminal justice system is going to hold them accountable, we're going to see a level of brazenness. So this sounds like fear tactics. So they didn't say mutual combatants. They said there was not enough evidence for a felony charge. This is a right-wing scare tactic, probably, that's been pushed by the NRA now as well. This is a police union person that came out and said that. I read the exact words to you from the prosecutor.
Well,
they didn't have the evidence. So this mutual combatants thing is not the reason that they gave.
Okay. Have you seen the body cam footage?
It doesn't matter what the body cam footage is. What you just said wasn't true.
When
they said they didn't have enough evidence. This is what they said. I don't know what that means. I could look. The official statement said As a let's see, the Cook County Attorney's Office says, a former federal prosecutor, the mayor knows of ethical obligation of the prosecutor to only bring forth charges where the facts, evidence, and law support it. She's also fully aware that as a prosecutor, we are obligated not to try cases in the media. It is unclear why she has chosen to make such statements, especially absent the full information that was presented to our office by CPD. This was in response, by the way, to the police spokesman. The detectives reached out to our office on Friday and acknowledged at the outset that given the chaotic nature at the scene, they were unable to determine how the events unfolded. We reviewed the evidence that was presented to us in consultation with the detectives, and they agreed we were unable to approve charges based on the evidence presented. However, as always, as additional evidence is gathered, we stand by ready to bring charges when appropriate. Additionally, the facts the mayor presented today simply are not in line with what was presented to us by CPD and not borne out by the evidence we received. The staggering violence that is devastating our communities is horrific. However, we must still adhere to both our ethical and legal standards in evaluating charges. As a former prosecutor, she knows that. So you've been fed a bunch of shit, and you believed it. I wonder, who do you think pushed that out?
Push
yeah,
that out?
Who do you think, why is it that you didn't know why they actually dropped the case, but you knew a conspiracy theory of why they dropped the case?
Because I actually watched the body cam footage when the police arrived and they were still shooting at each other.
Hold on. Why did you believe a conspiracy theory about why they dropped the case instead of the real reason they dropped the case?
I don't know.
Yeah. Because you're fed propaganda all the time. You're supposed to be scared that people are coming to take away your guns. You're supposed to be scared into thinking that everywhere that Democrats touch is a liberal hellhole, and it's nonstop violence, and we want nothing. We don't want to change any of it. We don't want to fix any of it.
Never mentioned anything about Democrats or liberals.
I didn't say you think that. I'm saying that that's the information. The people feeding you this information, they want you to believe that. They want you to believe that we don't care about violence, that we don't care about crime, that we just look the other way. Because, and the reason, David, that I bring this up is because I asked you what you stood for, and all you did was complain about Democrats. And that seems to be the case most days. When I ask Republicans what they stand for, like for you, you said Second Amendment, and then I said why, and you just started complaining about Democrats. I don't think the Republicans stand for anything. That what they want to do is make you mad, David. They want to make you mad and afraid.
Okay.
But what do they actually stand for? What do you stand for?
Less government interference.
Okay.
Individual state rights.
What do you mean by individual state rights?
That the government can't just pass sweeping law that covers all 50 states blindly, that the states are left up to govern themselves.
What does blindly mean?
Like all right, we're talking about the two-way argument. Like, say the federal government couldn't pass a law that just says all assault weapons are now forever banned. That's what I mean by states' rights, because states should have the individual right to decide what's right for them.
Wait, the right to own a firearm is the Second Amendment. That's a federal right. Why do the states have all the rights that aren't included in the Constitution, right? That's the whole point. Anything that's not in the Constitution is a state's right, is usually the state's rights argument, right?
Yeah.
Well, owning a firearm is very much not a state's rights argument. So if the federal government gave you the right to a firearm, wouldn't it be the federal government who could take that away?
No.
Well, wait, what? Your right is guaranteed by the federal government.
But you don't think individual states can restrict
Do you understand
things?
where did the states get their rights? Tenth Amendment, right? I'm just going to pull up the...
Well, from the legislatures, for one.
Yeah, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states, respectfully, or to the people. Now, the right to have a firearm is guaranteed by what?
Second Amendment.
And is that a federal?
Yes.
Is that a federal right?
Yes.
Yeah, so the state can't take that away, right? It's not a state's right. If the federal government takes away the right to own a firearm, it would have to be done at the federal level, right?
Okay,
or
yeah.
at the very least, the federal government has to choose not to step in. Like if a state decides that they want to ban firearms and the federal government opts not to step in, that's one thing. But they absolutely have the power to do that.
Interesting.
Right?
I mean, they can, yeah, if they wanted to pass that, I guess they could.
Okay, so where are some places then that you want less government?
Like less government, like government reform, control.
Yeah, you said you want smaller government, less government interference, I think is the words you chose. Where would you like to
Correct.
see less government interference?
I mean, the states should be allowed to govern themselves independently outside of the scope. I mean, within the
Yeah,
scope
dude,
of the federal.
I don't know if do you remember the Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that kind of a little bit about states wanting to govern themselves independently?
Yeah, that was.
And then what happened?
The Democrats got the shit kicked out of them by the Republicans.
So stupid. Listen to how partisan you are. No, what happened?
Who were the slaveholders? They were Democrats.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know.
You cannot disacknowledge
No,
that.
hey, you're not running from this. We can get to that later, and I'll help you understand why that doesn't make any sense now. We can get to that later. But for now, let's talk about this. So, are you saying that those states should have been able to hold on to those rights?
No, I'm not saying
to own people as slaves?
No.
Oh no. And why were they not? Why did the states not have that right?
Because you can't own a human being.
Why not?
Because it's immoral and it's freaking evil.
Was it also constitutional that you couldn't?
Not at that point in time.
Well, it kind of was, right? That was the argument. The argument there was that the Constitution was supposed to grant the rights to everybody. Now we were slow on that, but that was essentially the argument: is that these are people, right?
Correct.
And people all have the same rights regardless of their skin color. Now it wasn't obviously that's not where we were at the end of the Civil War, but we were like slowly moving in that direction. That's a right granted to us by our Constitution.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why the state isn't allowed to make any rules against that. It's a right, just like the right to a firearm. Right, it's federal. But again, the question I asked you was, where would you like to see less government interference?
Damn it. Okay, I'm just going to concede to you on this one.
Wait, so you're just not sure what you stand for? You're not sure what you believe?
Yep.
So what's the point then? Like, why vote Republican? If you're a Republican, you're voting for them. You can't even tell me why you're voting for them. Don't you think that's kind of silly, right?
Any point or anything. I mean, you have your mind made up. I have my mind made up. Nothing I can.
Brother, you haven't. No, don't try and don't cowardly back out of this. It's not like you presented points and I was hard-headed. I've given you the last 3 minutes. You won't even present a point. Don't make this about me being hard-headed.
No, I'm not saying you're hard-headed, but you'll never change my mind, and I'll never change I would never be able to change your mind, and I wouldn't want to
Well,
change your mind.
that's a silly thing for you to say because I was a Republican. I have my mind changed all the time. I'm very open-minded. If somebody gives me information that's better than the information that I have, I change my mind. It's a silly thing to say, you'll never change my mind. That's just you like giving up on learning new things. You're like, I know all the things. I'm not going to learn any more new things. I'm just going to keep being who I am. Look, I think a lot of people get that way. Some people get there earlier in life than others, but I think most people at some point give up on learning new things, and maybe that's like the stage of life that you're in. You're just like, I don't care about knowing things. I'm just gonna have strong opinions. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna voice them, but I don't really know why I have these opinions.
Maybe that's bias on my part, but I'll concede to that.
All right. Well, think about it. Come back again. Come back. Think about it for a while. Figure out what's important to you, and let's talk about it another time.
All right. Thank you.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Yep.
Bye. I don't know. It sounded like a small waterfall in the background. Yeah, that was weird. That was weird. This is an interesting topic. I didn't think this would be so difficult for people to answer. I don't know that we've really had anybody answer it. Even those who said this is what I stand for, they've then conceded that what they stood for, they didn't have like a good backing for. Thank you for the cowboy hat, whoever sent that. I love those ones. Box is empty, by the way. Time is at 11:30. Go back to Twitter. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. What's it? I don't know what they're talking about with the straw on the lid. Pick me. Okay, I pick you, Luca. Come on up. Nick Knock. Hey, Nick.
Oh, you got me?
Gotcha.
Hey, real quick. I am not in a position. I just want you to elaborate so it educates my mind so I can relay this with the Democrat back in the day when you were about to do it, but then the guy took off. You're like, hey, I'm going to walk you through that. All I'm asking you is because I'm on your team, just educate me is what I'm saying.
On which part?
On the part where you were about to dog walk into the Democrats owning slaves.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the Democrats were the Democrats were the South, the Republicans were the North. And if you want any evidence at all that the party switched, just look at a fucking map. Just look at the southern states, the ones that had slaves and wanted to hold on to slaves, and just see what party they're at now. Where are the white nationalists? Where are they biggest? Where is racism still the most rampant? Southern Republican states. It's the same place. So
yeah.
you can go through like how the party switched. You can talk about how Republicans saw an opportunity with specifically white Southern evangelicals who, as Democrats got more progressive and more inclusive and less centered around religion, you had white evangelicals in the South feeling very, very left out. And Republicans saw that as an opportunity to embrace Christian nationalism. It was a good move for them. It saved their party, and now that's why we have the Republican South now. So it's pretty easy. Like you just look at the map. Just look at a map and say which of these states were slave states, and then you could be like, oh, that's how the party switched. That's how it's the least complicated way to look at it. The old Dixiecrats, that's correct. That's all right, Nick Knock. That it's okay if you got disconnected because that sound was atrocious. All right, let's go back. Did John Jr. say anything yet? What do we got? Oh, this is interesting. So this was part of his deposition. Let me pull this up. This is Don Jr. Testifying that he knew about GAP guidelines for GAP guidelines are used to they're guidelines so that you can give out like legitimate valuations. So that's like the number one point here in this Trump fraud case is that not only did people know what they were doing, but they also understood the law. So they knew they were doing this and they knew that it was against the law.
Have any familiarity with an acronym GAP, G-A-A-P?
Generally accepted accounting principles, yes.
Okay. How did you become familiar with that acronym?
Probably in Accounting 101 at Wharton.
Okay. What do they teach you about generally accepted accounting principles in Wharton?
Well, I'm not an accountant, but that they are generally accepted.
Anything else?
That's pretty much what I remember from Accounting 101. So.
Have you told me everything you know about GAP?
Basically. I'm sure I could come up with some creative stuff to kill time, but I'd be doing neither of us a favor in terms of educating ourselves.
Okay. Thank you. So, fair to say you've never been employed in a position that required you to apply GAP to your work?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Wharton Business School doesn't know what generally applied accounting principles are. Is Mo here? Mo would know. Mo loves that. If Mo's here, Mo just got so pumped that we're talking about GAP. Yeah, no, I listened. He has no idea. I actually thought he was going to say that he did know about it. And he didn't. It was worse. I thought he was going to say, yeah, I knew about that. So Don Jr. might be off the hook here. Don Jr., either he's playing like 4D chess or he really didn't know. This is great testimony for Don Jr. Congratulations to Don Jr., who looks like for now will still be able to do his podcast. So congratulations to Don Jr. I thought for sure he's going to be like, yeah, I know what that is. Nope. No. Just doesn't know at all. Grandpa for Tampa, welcome. Boy, it is friendly city out here today. Hey, Grandpa.
RTP, how you doing, my friend?
Good, my friend. How are you?
I just want you to hurry up with the universal health care. Okay?
Trying.
My wife, we pay for insurance, and I just went to the dentist to get my 6-month cleanup. Okay, I have 3 teeth on the top, 2 on the bottom, and it cost me $196, and the insurance company has to reimburse me.
So you got to come out of pocket the $190 and then wait for a reimbursement?
Yes, with 3 teeth on the top and 2 on the bottom.
What's that per tooth? That's like $50 or $40 a tooth almost.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I explained to them that I have to eat peanut butter and jelly to pay the premiums in order to get to the dentist.
What did they have to say about that?
Well, they said they don't recommend me eating anything harder than that because I only I want to protect.
You just have to just something you can nibble on, probably.
I want to protect the teeth that I do have. So I just want you to hurry up with that universal health care, please.
Well, we're working on it, Grandpa from Tampa. I appreciate it. Hold on to those teeth.
I'm trying.
All right, brush well. See you, brother. Bye. By the way, if you guys know Grandpa from Tampa, he was like a real opposition at one point. We had a really long conversation. We talked about universal health care. We talked about how Republican policies aren't helping him. And so I just want you to know, Grandpa from Tampa was not always universal health care. But we love Grandpa from Tampa. All right. So do we know yet? Has Don Jr. said anything today? Does anybody have a link on that? I don't see anything about Don Jr. A lot of teeth. There's a Miss Julie's mad. Teeth jokes are reserved for Miss Julie. We should. That's what we should do. The first RTP meetup should be in Tampa. We should go visit Grandpa. That's what it should be. I know Anthony's going to be real mad if we don't go to California first, but That might be a good one. Farmageddon is trending also. Are we going to just be no op all day? Terrific. What's Farmageddon? Oh, this is a football thing. Never mind. I don't know what that is. Some sort of college football thing. Cruz is trending. That's always good. Bring it home to Utah. Pass. Hard pass on bringing it home to Utah. What did Ted Cruz do? Oh, yes. This is Ted Cruz defending the ultra-rich we have here. What do we got?
And the Democrats love to demonize the super rich. Well, look, Schumer and the Democrats love to...
Okay, that's stupid. That's a crappy clip. It's just too many of these Twitter people. Yeah, that's a 4-second clip. 4 seconds is a little light there. Let's be better. Let's be better about that, liberals. Let's not do 4-second clips. Lego, welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, Farmageddon.
Jesus. Tell me about. Go ahead.
No, the Farmageddon is about the technicians walking off the job at CVS, and Walgreens is going to be following.
Okay, so there's also a thing called Farmageddon. That they're calling this Farmageddon. That it's the first time that these Iowa State, KU. Wait, what is it?
I don't know anything about.
It's some sort of football rivalry. It's Iowa State, Iowa, Kansas, and Kansas State. Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Iowa State. I don't know. It's also a football thing. It was spelled with an F. But Farmageddon is also the walkout. That should be trending more than this. I don't like that I got the wrong trending Farmageddon.
They had posted a thing, or there was a big thing on Mondays when they were going to start walking out. CVS had confirmed like 5,000 stores nationwide where technicians and pharmacists were going to walk.
Did it happen? Did you say? Sorry,
I don't know. I just wanted to clarify because you said football, and I was like, no, I'm in pharmacy. It's not football, but apparently there's two. So, yeah.
I'm seeing pictures from CVS where they just left and then they put up signs.
Yep, and Walgreens.
What are they advocating for? I don't know much about what they're asking for.
It depends on the state. So I'm in Arizona with you, but each state has a required number of pharmacists per technicians, kind of like teachers per student.
Okay.
And they are held to unreasonable quotas on turnaround times on top of walk-ins for vaccinations, and they're not. They need more people, and the companies are refusing to hire more people. And then also pay, I'm sure.
Whoa, I didn't know all this in Arizona too.
But I don't know in Arizona.
And I'm being told it's a non-union strike too?
Correct.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
because there's no union as far as I know for technicians. I've been in pharmacy for 20 years.
That's amazing. Good for all you pharmaceutical workers, and I hope you enjoyed your days off. That's actually awesome.
If you read the comments, there's a whole lot of apparently there's a lot of technicians and pharmacists in your chat right now because they're they're giving more information than I have. So
I'd love to hear more about this. That's fine. Please come up, give me more information. I'm getting stuff here on Farmageddon saying it could close pharmacies as protests spread.
Okay, I'm gonna hop down.
Awesome, thank you, appreciate it.
No problem.
And sorry for anybody here that's worried about your football games this week. I don't really know what that is. All right, you guys did this. Welcome back, Bushmaster. Oh no, he left. Oh wait, Bushmaster might be banned. I don't know. Actually, somebody might have banned him. Sorry, Bushmaster. I'm actually okay with that. I really don't. I was gonna be mean to you guys and bring up Bushmaster, but whoever banned him. That was probably one of my mods real quick, and I'm fine with that, if that's what happened. Who is Free Palestine? Free Palestine, welcome.
Hello, long time no talk.
Yeah.
How you doing, PT?
Good, how are you?
I'm Hurricane, by the way. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Sorry if you don't recognize the profile anymore.
Yeah, that's all right. What's going on?
Nothing. I wanted to ask you a question that I've been kind of running through my head just with the whole situation going on. What do you do with like what happens to people who are like deep into the um, like propaganda of the Israeli state? Like how do you educate someone who like has a good heart but is just kind of going along with what they've trusted for a long time, which is the mainstream media?
Yeah, I would say that like most people, I stay fairly up to date on things, and I was very when all this broke out, I had to play catch up. I'd imagine that most people are less informed, and so I really don't think I think it's a really fruitless conversation a lot of times. That's why I don't use it as a topic. I think there's a few people I trust,
Yeah.
and I want to discuss it with those people, but unless you have unless you have a vast amount of knowledge about the conflict, which again I don't. I have enough that I can talk about it on a very surface level. But unless you do, like, there's nobody's going to be able. People are just going to be talking past each other. It's sidesism. It's clearly
Yeah.
sidesism. They're
Yeah,
told
that's
they're told Israel, unless you could get somebody one on one and be able to show them some stuff, and they're
yeah.
willing to learn about the history of the conflict. That's what I did. I literally
That's
sat
that's
there while
how
somebody
that's
explained
how
it to
I've been
me.
the most
Yeah.
successful with my I would say like roommates, close friends. I kind of just sit them down in front of a map and I go from 1917 up until today, and I'm kind of just like that. This is the history. What side you decide to choose is up to you. But as your friend, as someone who is kind of like I have a lot of free time, so I'm able to go into deep into topics whenever they get into my stream.
Yeah.
Uh, so I just tell them as your friend, as someone who just cares about people in general. I'm like there's one there's there's one side that's overpowered. There's another side who is misrepresented, and I can understand why some people can see it as a complicated subject, but I feel like if someone sits you down and talks to you about it, I think it becomes a little bit more clear. Or
Yeah.
if you just like watch
That's what
any
happened. That's what happened with
documentary.
me for sure.
Yeah.
I think my initial reaction was just fuck Hamas. I've since
Same
been
here.
educated on
Same here, bro.
I've been educated on a lot more of what's happened on the Israeli side. I'm much more aware. Like I'm still gonna say fuck Hamas. Like I still say it, but my initial reaction was very very uneducated. So I actually just have enjoyed listening to smart people talk about it. It is fascinating, and there's so many people who can tell the story so well. I think Whisper does a good job. I think Athena's incredible. I hopped in one the other day. I want to say it was I Am Him that was hosting it, but you had some actual Palestinians on there that were just discussing the history. So there's some cool spaces on TikTok. That's one thing that's been awesome about TikTok is there are some spaces where it's not necessarily debated, but it's discussed, and those have been fascinating.
Yeah. I personally have skipped any like lives that have the Israeli Palestine flag in the background because the majority of the time it is how you described it, just my side this, my side that. When I think one of the best creators to do it recently that's really edible like for the eyes is Rathbone. I don't know if you
I
follow
don't
him.
know. Yeah, I don't know who that is.
So
Shoot me there. Somebody shoot me Rathbone's.
Yeah, Rathbone Music, I believe, is the account that he's on right now. But Ben Shapiro actually actually debated with him on he debated with the TikTok of Rathbone, and Ben Shapiro still lost. Like it was probably one of the funniest things I've seen, and it was cool seeing one of my like one of the creators that I follow roasting Ben Shapiro without even being live. Like he pre-recorded the roast, and it was amazing. So
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. A lot of people are saying they like him, so I don't know who that is.
yeah. Well, anyways, I know that I appreciate you for being truthful and saying that you weren't as informed and you'd rather let other people who are more informed talk about it. That's also one of the main reasons why on my channel, I've mostly just been reposting, and I have a collection that is just videos of Palestine so people can inform themselves.
Yeah.
But besides that, just I appreciate you for at least being like 100% honest with like you're not just like, well, if we don't vote Joe Biden in, then Project 2025 is gonna suck. And I'm in my honest opinion, as someone who's like a revolutionary at heart, I think why not let democracy work as it worked? Like why not?
Sure.
If Trump ends up winning and he is as bad as everyone says he's going to be, then as Americans, as American citizens, I think it's in your Constitution. It says you have the right to rise up against a tyrannical government. So if it really is that bad, then it gives revolutionaries and leftists an opportunity to actually change the status quo, and instead of continuing it. You know, some people are okay with it because they don't have to suffer as much as others, which, like, I can't really blame you for that. Like, you were born into the system, you didn't really get to choose it. But
Yeah.
I think a little bit of self-reflection, a little bit of take 15, 20 minutes out of your day, inform yourself about a new topic you don't know about. I think that'll help out.
Yeah, that's good advice. Yeah, thank you. Send me, when you're making those videos, send them to me, will you?
Yeah, for sure.
I do.
I will.
You will. Good talking to you again.
Later.
Bye. Oh yeah, Bushmaster couldn't come up because Bushmaster was blocked, which I'm pretty sure I asked to do yesterday because I just don't have time for that. God bless him. He may be running out of places to go. Box is empty. I'm just looking at a couple of messages I was sent. Not important. All right, I'll head back to Twitter for the slowest ass day ever. Slow. What are we? Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? Say Wednesday? It's Wednesday. Hey, happy November, by the way. It's my birthday this month. Sean, welcome.
Yeah, how's it going, man?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. I'm not opposition, but since your inbox was dead, I figured I'd try to pick your brain since you're super educated and used to work on the Mitt Romney's campaign. But just I'm a veteran. I'm left-leaning. But one thing I've noticed is that a ton of veterans, even like close friends of mine, really lean heavily towards the right and towards Donald Trump specifically, despite like the GOP's almost consistent record of voting against veterans benefits, even as recently as last year with the PACT Act, which they did essentially out of spite. So from your perspective, why do you think so many veterans align with the right, even though the right doesn't necessarily have their best interest in mind?
Yeah, I think it's messaging. I think they do a better job messaging. They're putting the flag on everything. They're pro 2A, which of course a lot of military people are. They say they are. I think it has a lot to do with messaging. Even the response to Colin Kaepernick, they turned that into a military thing. They always talk about the military. It's their number one focus. Anytime a issue about homelessness or mental health or healthcare is involved, they use the mistreatment of veterans as their excuse to not vote for new things. So their messaging, I feel like they honestly use the military as a scapegoat for everything. When we talk about healthcare, they're like, oh well, we can't even take care of our veterans, so we can't take care of our own healthcare. Or the VA is a mess, right? How many times have we heard that? Or homelessness. Well, why are we gonna spend money on homelessness when we have homeless veterans? Let's take care of them first. Why are we allowing immigrants in? We have to take care of veterans. And then of course they don't do anything to take care of veterans. They just literally use veterans as a way to not vote for anything that helps the people. But the messaging is effective. For whatever reason, that messaging is effective. Most people don't go past that. They just assume that the politicians who are talking about them the most and saying, we love you the most, the people with the best messaging are actually doing what's best for them, and it's not true.
Yeah, that's crazy because I remember like after the Capitol riot, I think like a crazy stat came out where it was something along the lines of 1 in every 4 or 1 in every 5 like insurrectionists had either ties to the military as a veteran or were active duty, and like that was a really overwhelming number. So like just this weird draw to the right. And again, like I see this so closely within like the circle of veterans I served with.
What state do you live in? Dougie just dropped a stat, said that 65% of veterans voted for Biden. I don't know where he got that stat. He can maybe let me know. But are you in a more red area?
Yeah, I'm in a red area recently,
Okay.
at least.
Okay, sorry about that. You doing all right? Making it through?
It's terrible, dude. I'm in Florida.
It's terrible.
It's fucking wild. You know, people are like, "Oh yeah, Twitter isn't real life." No, in Florida, that shit is real life. Bro. You see people walking around with like Daddy DeSantis.
Oh, you're in Florida.
Yeah, it's wild out here. Every bad thing that you've ever heard about Florida, please believe it. It's fucking crazy out here.
There's something wrong with. I don't know what's. I love to visit Florida, but goddamn, I don't know what's going on out there. How long do you have to be stuck in Florida?
Probably. So I moved out here to live closer to my in-laws, and unfortunately, from both like my husband's side of the family, they have a pretty decent track record of living into their like late 80s, early 90s. They're currently 60, so I'm looking at like at least another 30 years.
You got a 20 to 30 year sentence out there. Damn, man. You served this country and we put you in Florida. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
This is further proof that Republicans don't do anything for veterans. They would not allow veterans to live in Florida as Florida stands. It's just further proof.
It's terrible out here, but hey, thank you. Appreciate the
thanks,
work
Sean.
you do, and have a good day, man.
Yeah, appreciate your service too. Thanks, brother. Let's see it. Thank you, Sean. I like Sean. I don't know. I think it's been a while since I talked to Sean. I'm pretty sure we've talked before, but I don't remember anything. Epstein's trending again. Epstein's got to be setting a record for most days trending on Twitter ever. And it's always the same thing. We pull it up. It's Obama giving medals to, it looks like, Steven Spielberg, Oprah. It's entitled, "Who do you think is on Epstein's client list?" And it goes Bill Gates first, then it goes Ellen, and then it goes Tom Hanks, of course. Then we've got Meryl Streep. Then we've got, I forget her name, the singer, Barbara Streisand. Then we covered those ones already. Oh, and we got Robert De Niro at the end there too. So every day, if you just want somebody to keep repeating that all Democrats were on, basically anybody who doesn't like Donald Trump was on that flight log. Terrific. And then they'll ignore the video of Trump partying with Epstein, pointing at women and talking about them. Donald Trump doing this. He does that little thing. I don't know why he does that. It's weird. Trump Jr. on the stand currently in New York. Should be fascinating. I don't know if they allowed him to take his meds before he went up. He's been on a bit of a bender. Donald Trump Jr. sounds like Jack Smith looks. But then Jack Smith sounds wonderful. I see, man. Can we get some what do I got to do to get up? Let's do this. Could you guys help me out? Can you bump those likes up? See if we can get just the likes up. How many people are here? We have a lot of people here. That's crazy. 1,100 people and no ops. Thank you guys for sticking with me on these slow days. I appreciate it. Mandy, go ahead and come. This may just like wind up being. You can come back, Mandy. This morning might just wind up being a little bit more open like this. I plan on, and you guys have seen it, I plan on jumping on Whispers as many days as I can, and then going later at night, jumping into other lives. So I'll have more time to debate. But we may open it up in the mornings. We'll see how this goes. Mandy, welcome.
Hey, good morning to you. Good afternoon to me.
Happy afternoon.
But I was just we have a lot of boomers at work, and I've just noticed they've gotten very violent.
The boomers are getting. Oh no, the boomers are acting up.
They talk about unaliving people constantly, and they want to have firing squad. They want to bring back firing squad.
Mandy, where do you work?
I build ships for a certain organization that's extremely powerful.
All right.
I'm not really supposed to publicly say where I work.
Okay. Military type ships or like
Yes, along that line.
Just say Shmesh. Yeah, Shmesh. Okay.
Shmesh.
And the boomers at your work are getting a little bit angry. What are they saying?
They want to bring back firing squads. They want to
For what? What do they want the firing squads for?
Anything. Child molestation, child touching, graping. They're okay with shooting. Pew-pewing people who rob a store.
I've heard it for things like I hear it for about treason a lot. Here's what I can tell you about Republican men specifically that's who I can talk about, the people that I'm around. One thing Republican men love to do, it's one of their favorite things, is to sit around, and this might just be white men in general, I don't know, you guys can let me know if this is you, but probably the favorite activity of white men is to sit around and discuss hypotheticals in which they would be really fucking tough. So we sit around and somebody will tell a story about be like, I was at Fry's, that's a grocery store here. I was at Fry's and this guy just kept staring me down. And then I was like, what's your problem? And he was like, I don't like your face. And you're like, okay. And you left. And if you told that story with your friends, let's say there's 10 friends there, 8 of them would be like, I would have fucking kicked his ass, dude. I'll punch him right in the face. They wouldn't do any of these things. But it's I don't know what it is. It's a thing that we like to do where we pretend that in these scenarios we would always be the hero. We would always step up and be the badass that we think we are. And we aren't. And they're not. They're not badass at all. I've seen them in those situations. They also cower. But for some reason, it's just it's a conservative white dude thing. I don't know. That might not be just conservative white dudes. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's why the good guy with the pew-pew theory doesn't work. They did an interview with one guy after an incident at a college, and he's like, I have my pew-pew in the car, and I thought about going to get it, but then I realized the cops are just going to see a man with a pew-pew, and I might get unalived.
Is your mic by chance super close to your face?
Yes. Do I need here?
Pull it away a little bit.
Is this better?
The audience is very triggered by a lot of background noise today. So
it's kind of noisy where I work too. It's 100-year-old building.
It's all right. It's all
right. What was I saying?
It's about how you liked the boomers that you worked with. No, just about the violence in general. I agree. I hear the people say it. I don't think they mean it. I think it's more of a sign. Can you mute while I go real quick? I think we're getting some feedback. I got you. I think it's more a sign of desperation at this point. I think that Republicans generally, we've seen it today. We've seen it the last couple of weeks. There's nothing left to really defend. There's no grievances that are factual. There's no policy that they're here to promote. It has turned into just be angry. And all right-wing content creators, all of them, their number one goal is to make people angry. And if you don't believe me, if we can go over, let's just go and let's look at the headlines one by one. Fox News, expert issues stark warning after Joe Biden unveils landmark new executive order. Stark warning. Let's go to OANN with the world's worst AOL ripoff. North Korea closes embassies around the world. Pentagon to send 300 troops to the Middle East. Hawaii couple found guilty of stealing identities of unalived babies. Let's go to Newsmax. U.S. Intel disregarded Hamas after 9/11, so now it's our government's fault disregarding Hamas. More than 500 Americans held in Gaza. Now, if I go to YouTube, we can do this all day. Let's go to Ben Shapiro. He's probably the biggest. He or Steven Crowder, I think, are the two biggest. Ben Shapiro's videos from yesterday. His first thing is you're being lied to about Israel and Palestine. Where's his clips? Oh, those aren't updated from yesterday. Where's the recent ones? He's not doing a great job on his clip. Okay. The fight for our kids. Can we save our society? Can we save men? It's all scare tactics. All the time. Steven Crowder. His is usually a little more mocking. But let's see what Steven Crowder has to say. Media lies about IDF. Muslim mob storms Russian apartment, airport. Or Muslim mob storms Russian airport, not apartment. Massacre in Maine. Hamas denies resources to Gaza. Yeah, it's always fear. Tim Pool. Let's go look at Tim Pool. Chinese companies remove Israel from world maps. IDF admits to bombing refugee camp. Oh, these are old. Now those ones are old. Yeah, it's the whole thing. You can't go to the right wing and not be scared. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you scared.
Yeah, they're just terrified of everything. They're terrified of education. They're terrified of colleges. They're terrified of leaving their houses. And I'm a veteran. I was served in my Navy, and they're screaming at me that I'm a communist and I need to move to Cuba because I want universal health care.
Well, Cuba's lovely. I'd think about it. It sounds better than working where you work. If I were you, I would look into that.
It pays very well, though. So
I got to drop because of the echo, though.
All right. Yeah,
Thanks, man.
like again, old building.
You're good. Thank you. It's just echoing like crazy. Jay Lemzo. Welcome. They do have good healthcare. I think they have good education in Cuba too, right? Jay Lemzo, welcome.
That's about the only good thing they have. Good. So I'm
nice
I'm not
beaches.
They do have nice beaches, but I
Good
think
cigars.
if you
Good cigars.
yes, but if you steal a cigar, you might be never seen again. So
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've never been to Cuba. I'm not an expert, but I've smoked the
no,
cigars.
that's what happened with that guy, that American. He went to North Korea, which first of all was a bad idea, but second of all, he tried to steal the poster of the North Korean leader. Total American move, and he got arrested. And remember, they sent his body back.
Yeah,
That was
I
a couple
do.
years ago, right?
It feels a
I
bit
forget.
unrelated to Cuba, but I do remember that story.
Both communist, similar governmental
Wait.
styles.
Is that what you think communism is?
I don't think communism is that. No, not at all. But you brought up Cuba, and so
Yeah.
we were talking about if you steal cigars. So I was bringing up a real world example of a similar. North Korea and Cuba have very close relations. If you don't know.
Yeah, I have some friends recently who have gone to Cuba and they loved their experience there.
Well, it's great, but okay. Well, then fine. Can you give me a moment? Just because I need to move to another room so I can talk with you clearly.
Yeah, you just flushed the toilet. That's amazing.
Well, no, it's in the background. Anyways, so you want to talk about communism?
Not particularly. Did you?
No, but I see your question. But is that what you want to talk about, or is there a question you want to ask me, or do you just want me to ramble?
Yeah, brother.
I'm
I don't
trying
know
to be
any. Yeah, brother. I don't know
loosey-goosey on your
anything.
show, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't know anything about you, so I think maybe if you want to respond to that, or if you know something about me and you want to ask me a question, I wouldn't even know where to start.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, I want to say I like your name, Riding the Pine. Second of all, I live in Israel. I'm Israeli. I lived in America, but I have a very unbiased perspective of the situation. And if you guys are interested, I could share what's really going on at a ground level.
You can. I'm not gonna. It's not my topic. If you're saying things people disagree with, I'll probably need to bring up an opposition on the other side. But I'll go
Well,
silent if
that's
that's the
always
case.
fine. No, it's like an
ahead.
80s talk show. We can argue, yeah. No, you gotta, I can help you, like, get your live, like, popular, like a talk show. Everyone tunes in every night, you know? Something. Anyways,
Sure.
so, yeah, that's what we need. That's what we need. No! Yes! Anyways, this dude is clearly Canadian. I
No,
don't know if you're aware. Yes,
hey, real quick,
I
hey,
was.
brother,
What?
when you're up here with me, we don't read the comments. We don't respond to the comments. We just talk
Okay.
to each other.
I like that. All right,
Thank
forget
you.
the comments. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm here in Israel right now. The situation is tense, but I think what the Israeli government is doing is wrong, and I think it was an inside job. But what's the main topic today that you want to talk about? Just the Republicans?
Sure.
Okay, so you're anti-Republican?
I think the Republicans are this current version of the Republican Party is just trash.
Bunch of wimps.
I think they stand for nothing. They just are a bunch of grievers.
What about the demo rats?
Well, we're talking about Republicans, but I don't really say Democrats. I think that's silly. I think the Democrats are significantly better than the Republicans.
You know they worship Satan.
Well, if they did, which would be silly
They're
since a lot
Freemasons.
are Christians, if they did, that would not be that would be okay with me.
It would be okay?
Yeah, definitely, I would be fine with that.
So then you get off on all the babies being killed in Gaza, because that's Satanists. They have to, in the Bible, they have to bring babies to Moloch.
Yeah, bro, that was a leap. Yeah, like I think that
that's what the Holocaust
I
means.
think in the Bible there were a lot of babies who didn't make it in the Bible. I think God God killed a lot of them in there, in with the flood. I don't know if you remember that. It's not a great thing.
No, but here's the thing: is that Holocaust people don't know. You're laughing.
Well, I'm laughing because I don't care which imaginary God you believe in. Like, it doesn't matter to me. You can believe in whatever God you
It's
want
not
to believe in.
imaginary.
Well,
But,
okay. You
well,
can believe in whatever God
wait.
you want. I think they're all imaginary, so I don't care.
But then who created you? And you can't say your parents, because that's a
Why can't I
cop-out.
say
I'm
that?
saying
Why can't I say that?
because then someone created your parents, which all the way goes back to, if you do a DNA test on anyone on Earth, they go back to two ancestors. So who created those
What
ancestors?
two ancestors do they go back to?
The microbial Eve, which means the maternal DNA that's passed down from the mother to men and women.
No, I was just
And
wondering who they were. Who were the two people?
Yeah, well, they would be Adam and Eve, but
Do we have
if you're
we have
talking,
evidence that those people exist?
well, I'm trying to say it from a secular perspective.
Well, I'm just
for
asking
you.
if we have any evidence that those people exist.
It's literally, the evidence is that it goes back to two people within Mesopotamia, which in the Bible is
And was
clearly
that
the
Adam
Garden
and
of Eden.
was that Adam and was that Eve?
But yes, I'm saying the scientific names, I
Gotcha.
studied DNA, are literally parental Adam and microbial Eve. Microbial DNA is passed down from your mother. It goes to men and women.
Why do you think we chose those names Adam and Eve when we named those? Why do you
Oh,
think?
you got me. You got me. So two ancestors just coincidentally just had the whole world. I mean, that takes a lot of faith.
I'm wondering why you named them Adam and Eve.
I didn't name them. I'm saying that's the
Whoever named
offspring.
what's the word? What was the word?
There's something called
Mitochondrial?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so mitochondrial Adam and Eve, but why do you think we chose Adam and Eve?
No,
Out of
obviously,
curiosity.
but I'm saying it's just funny how it goes back to two ancestors and
Why
there's
is that
no
funny?
trace before that.
Why is that funny?
I'm saying, do you want to play semantics or do you want to get to the root
I'm
of
asking
it?
you questions. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm literally asking you questions. I
Okay,
don't understand what you're saying.
fair. No. Okay, it's okay. I'm saying that it's funny and ironically.
Why?
Why? Because the irony is people say, I don't believe in God, but yet there's two ancestors, and
that doesn't prove God. That proves that there were two ancestors.
Yeah, but wait. What is
Okay.
God? God is the creator. Okay,
I
someone who
believe
said,
God is just made up. But if you're going to tell me what God is, you're going to have to show me who God is.
yeah, that's what I'm doing. Is
Okay,
I'm
go ahead.
saying people say there is a saying there's no such thing as an honest atheist. What is an atheist? An atheist is someone who doesn't believe in theism, in a
Correct.
creation.
Correct.
So I buy a table from IKEA in Sweden. Oh yeah, in the Nordic country, right? It comes to America. I
Sure.
build it.
Sure.
Okay. And then, but someone
IKEA.
created. IKEA is the best. Not actually, but anyways. Stupid example, but the point is that you build a table, you have a table, okay? That table had to be created. So
What do you mean?
therefore,
What do you mean it had to be
I
created?
mean
I thought it had to be assembled.
Sorry?
I thought it had to be assembled. I've never created
Yes.
anything from IKEA. I just get the instructions and I assemble it.
But who put the wood there? Who put the materials there? A factory worker, correct?
Who, like in the box?
No.
Like who put
Well,
the
yeah.
materials in the box? Yeah, there was probably a factory worker, possibly a machine.
And then the wood came through a lumber, right? Someone who goes and gets material, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. So I explain to you. For
And
me,
where
I
did the
grew up.
lumber come? Where did the lumber come from?
That's what I'm getting to. That's
Okay.
what I'm. No, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm saying, I was once. No, we're having fun, but seriously, I was once. I grew up around a lot of. What? Okay, Mahan. So that. Yeah, sorry, someone in the background. Anyways, so the point is that I used to be also growing up around a lot of intellectual atheists, okay? And the
Cool.
thing that I
And
did is I started
I grew up around fundamental Christians. So this is cool. We have two very different
independent
backgrounds.
fundamental Baptist preaching, made for preaching. Anyways, so
You talking to me?
the point there's Hamas outside taking them to Gaza.
Oh,
No, anyway,
your jokes aren't
I'm all over the
terrific.
map.
Yeah.
You are brilliant. You are the best streamer of all time. Twitch #1. Anyways, let's get serious.
What
I'm
in
saying,
Christ?
You see, you believe in Jesus. You just said Christ.
Yeah.
You believe. I made you a believer.
Yep.
You're now a believer. There you
Got
go.
me.
My mission is complete. You can now put someone else on. And all
right.
the commenters, I'm coming for you. I'm coming.
That was weird, man. Thanks for that was weird. That was really weird. I did not enjoy that. That was weird. It was really really fucking weird. It started off with him flushing the toilet. We should have known it wasn't going to get better. Good lord. That was. I'm so glad that we didn't call in Athena for that. That could have been devastating. That would have been very strange. Thanks, Athena, for not showing up. But maybe she did. I don't know. I have no idea. Jesus, I don't know what to do about that. That is so weird. SCOTUS is trending now too. Just gave Harlan Crow just gave 693,000 to people on the judiciary. How about that? He's paying off the judiciary now too. 460,000 to Cornyn, 51 grand to, geez, what did Cornyn do? Cornyn's getting paid. 50,000 to Graham, 40 to Tom Cotton, just under 40 to Grassley, 35 to Mike Lee, 8,000 to John Kennedy. You got John Kennedy scraping the bottom of the barrel there. Cruz got 25, Tillis got 21. So he's now bribing the judiciary and the judges. Just democracy at hand, folks. Harlan Crow. Well done, Harlan Crow. That is wild. This following, by the way, Senate Judiciary Committee will vote on subpoenas for Harlan Crow, Leonard Leo, and Robin Arkley, the next step in the Supreme Court's in ethics investigation. The Senate Judiciary Committee is going to vote on whether to subpoena Harlan Crow, and he gives out just under $700,000 to a bunch of people on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Dope. Republicans are not going to care. They're not going to care one bit. They're going to say, yeah, Biden got 40,000. Biden's not voting. Did Biden get Harlan Crow? Biden, how much did he give? Harlan Crow. Let's check that. How much did Harlan Crow give Joe Biden? I don't see any donations to Joe Biden. In fact, when you search it, all you're seeing is the donations that went to Dean Phillips, who was challenging Joe Biden. We talked about that yesterday. I'm seeing donations to Cornel West. Max donation there of $3,300 from Harlan Crow. Yeah, seems like that was just a Republican lying. That's just what we do now. We just lie. Republicans just lie now. It's just part of it. Trump's sons are testifying right now for civil case. God, I can't believe why can't we get a fucking live stream for this civil case? Just let us hear. I'm tired of having to. Let's see if Don Jr. has said anything worth hearing yet. Don Jr. said his titles have included project manager, executive VP, and maybe regular VP at one point. Where does an executive VP feature in the hierarchy? Fairly high. Who's above me? My father for a period of time. Weisselberg would have been senior to me too. Okay, so he's third in line to Weisselberg and his dad. So if he didn't know anything, so if he's third in line and it's Weisselberg and his dad that are above him, that's probably not good for Papa Bear. That's probably not good. All right. Miss Julie, you're welcome whenever you'd like to come back up. Who else do we have here? Who was that? It was Molly Crane Newman is who I'm following on this one. Miss Julie, whenever you're ready, I'm going to keep looking at... Chris Case just said cross-exam of the state's expert witness may take 3 hours. Okay, not there. Nothing substantive here. I don't see that he said anything substantive yet. Well, I'll let you know if they are. Miss Julie, where's Miss Julie? She maybe dropped her phone. Pull that up. We may go after Miss Julie. We're just gonna go Q&A, maybe to wrap it up today. It's just one of those days. We'll do just like the fridge. There we are. Miss Julie.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Miss Julie.
Jay, I just want to say I'm sorry for all the verbal barbs earlier.
It's okay.
I've been under a lot of stress, and I think that your pretty shiny lips just threw me.
Sorry about that.
They threw me.
I apologize.
So I'm sorry, Jay.
It's okay.
Now listen, I do need to ask an important question.
Yes, ma'am.
What's with all these amateur hour comedians coming up here and I just feel like they're cheapening my traumatic life experiences. I come here to share my deep innermost. Jay, they're cheapening me.
Yeah, they think it's a joke. I agree with you. I don't think that it's appropriate for them to be trying to make a joke out of real things that are happening to you. Yeah, we might laugh a little bit, but we only laugh to stop from crying.
Well, yeah, and I know you're laughing at me, not with me. I mean, with me, not at me.
Correct.
I mean, no, I was right the first time. That's okay. Well, I'm off the fridge now, Jay.
How'd you get off the fridge?
Well, my PO and the technician came over today. It wasn't good. It really wasn't good. No, so they untied me, got out of the chair. Of course, I'm having to scoot around on the carpet like a dog trying to release clogged anal glands. It's gross. And if I don't make it to the toilet in time, I'm leaving a snail trail all over the linoleum. Why do I have to keep mopping all the time? It's not right, Jay. It's not right. It's not. So, well, there was a problem. I know you're surprised by that since I was dealing with two professionals this time.
I wasn't ready for the snail trail. I wasn't ready for that.
I know
Miss
you
Julie.
weren't,
I
Jay.
apologize.
I like
keep
getting
going.
every now and then.
Keep going.
I was young once.
Yeah.
Well, the swelling's gone down some in my ankles, but walking is still not in the cards. And
Okay. So
well,
we're still scooting?
we're still scooting. I gotta tell you, my legs were too fat for the ankle bracelet. The electronic tether would not clamp around those elephant-sized cankles. Wasn't happening. So my PO said he had had enough of it coming over to my house.
Yeah.
He was tired of all the bullshit, and he's having pigeon paranoia dreams. So they ransacked my place looking for stuff to get creative. They wound up with a shock collar for large breed dogs. They stripped the power cord off my vibrator, took those wires, taped about a dozen 9-volt batteries to my legs, juiced it all up. What the hell? All they had to do was give me a dead man switch and a note to give the teller not to put die packs in with the small bills. I was ready for a bank robbery, Jay. It was terrible.
Oh my God.
It was terrible.
It's not right.
No, it's not right. But you know, Jay, there wasn't enough juice coming from those dozen 9-volt batteries to stop me. See, I get stronger shocks generated from the static electricity. I get dragging my ample ass on this cheap carpeting in an insufficiently humidified apartment. Please. Hardly hair-raising. So they argued for a while.
Sure.
And finally, the tech headed down to Nap Auto Parts, came back with a battery the size of a Yeti. The cooler, Jay, not the mythical menace that I know you're thinking of.
Yeah, I was with you.
Not the mythological menace. No, man, that thing was powerful enough to run an 18-wheeler. I was just waiting for a Peterbilt to show up in the parking lot and them to see if I could pull it. So they rigged some other shit up on the door so I couldn't get out. And I'm not exactly sure what they did, but every time I try and go out in the kitchen, I'm the equivalent of a human bug zapper. This starts kind of malfunctioning and shocking and pinging and ponging me. My hair's fried. My goodness. Thank God I don't wear underwire bras anymore. My C cups would have just sizzled right on down to an A. It's not right.
It's not right.
It's not right.
It's not right. This is not fair what's happening to you, Miss Julie.
Jay, it's been a hard day.
Human bug zapper. Jesus Christ.
I feel like people don't respect the struggle.
They don't. They certainly don't respect the struggle, Miss Julie. They don't.
I mean, this is my life, and they think they can come up here and joke and make light of it. For heaven's sakes.
That's right.
No, anyway.
This is real life, folks. This isn't something that we should laugh. We shouldn't laugh about it.
This is not funny. This
not
is what
funny.
I go through in a day.
It is.
That's why sometimes I have to take a day or two off because it's just too much to consider.
It's a lot. It really is a lot to consider.
And you wonder why I'm high all the time, Jay. But I stayed sober for this because I wanted to make sure that you got the update.
I
And
appreciate
it's
that.
full, graphic, glorious detail.
Did I hear somebody yelling in the background?
Jay, that's the alert on my phone. And do you want to know what the noise is?
I don't know. Yeah, probably. I probably want to know.
It's one of my favorite Korean boy band members sounding like a doorbell. He just says, ding dong, ding dong. That's my alert on my phone, Jay. That is not a joke. That's serious. I've had it for 3 years. I have no life. Anyway, Jay, I'm not going to keep you. I know that I'm just a boring old lady, and
I just want your life to get better. That's all I want for you.
Well, it's going to have to. I'm down to my last can of Diet Pepsi. I don't know what a girl's supposed to do over here.
Listen, folks, we got to gift Miss Julie so she can get some more. I'll send a gift. Can I send you a gift this way?
Jay, my Cash App's in my bio.
Cash App's in the bio, folks. Give Miss Julie some goddamn Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi. Now, I still got about 20 gummies in my granny panties. I got to keep that stuff on the down low when the popo's coming over. Can't take any chances. So anyway, Jay, I guess they got tired of the shenanigans and they left. They said, we'll follow up with a phone call tomorrow with details of my 200 hours of community service. And
maybe you could start creating green energy. Maybe you could float that just with some butt scooting. You could create some energy if they could figure out a way to harness. Maybe they reverse engineer that battery. You power yourself.
Jay, you had me at green energy, but I was thinking another kind of green.
Go get yourself some of that green energy, Miss Julie.
So, Jay, we'll get the details tomorrow on the 200 hours of community service.
Yes, ma'am.
He did drop a little info on the way out. He said I'd be doing my volunteer work at, what's this? I wrote it down. It's kind of confused with these notes from that bitch Sheila. She called again, something about some of that Trump bullshit and getting Miss Kitty a final outfit or something. I don't know what they're going to the finals of.
I don't know either. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. They're supposed to be back on Friday.
Good.
And what does this say? 200 hours community service at RTP's KFC. Are you a franchisee, Jay?
I'm not.
I don't know what. Maybe it's an acronymous.
Yeah, what might the KFC be?
I'm not sure, but I know I love me some Jay, and I love pillowy biscuits, so this can't be a bad thing. My luck is looking up, Jay. Things are turning around for Miss Julie.
Okay.
Yeah, RTP's KFC, that's got to be a good thing.
Yeah.
Got to be a good thing.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll know tomorrow, Jay. Well, thank you, everybody, for the gifts. That was super sweet. I'll get some Diet Pepsi. And thanks for listening to this old lady just prattle on. I get lonely up here.
Yes, let's get you some Diet Pepsi. Hey, thoughts and prayers, Miss Julie. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and chairs is more like it.
There we go. Thoughts and chairs.
I'm still sitting on that inner tube, although we did drain the kiddie pool, thank God. The jacuzzi was getting a little smelly.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
All right, we got to keep it clean, Jay. This is a family program.
Yes, ma'am. Family program.
All right. I love you, dear.
I love you.
Thoughts and shares.
Yeah, thoughts and shares, Miss
Talk
Julie.
to you soon. Well, I'll call you tomorrow and let you know.
I can't wait.
Love you, Jay.
All right.
Oh, I got flagged for a violation if somebody reports me again.
It said I had to remove her. I don't know what happens. Who's reporting Miss Julie? I swear to God, if I find out, who was she harassing? For harassment, who was she harassing? That my face just gets red when I'm embarrassed. Nobody was harassing me. How dare you? Whoever reported Miss Julie, I hope you stub all of your toes today individually. Now I'm going to get in trouble probably. I was just kidding. I don't want you to stub your toes. All right. Fuck it. Open it up. We'll do Ask Me Anything. Tell me a story. Tell me a joke. Whatever you want to do. I had a request to do this the last 30 minutes or the last 20 minutes today, so we're going to do it. Last 20 minutes. And then just remember, make sure you're following Whisper. He's going to go live in about an hour. As the box fills up, I updated my link tree yesterday. I figured out how to do it. Somebody had mentioned me a few times about being able to send Cash App, and I thought it was up there. It wasn't. So it is updated in my link tree. If you want to donate, I do have Cash App and Tip Jar. We have merchandise as well that's on there. It's through Redbubble. You can go. We have Shushies apparel. We have RTP apparel. We have Beta apparel. We have RTP Williamson 2024 apparel. You can get stickers, mugs, all that shit. One thing I did want to ask, if you guys can, as we branch out, I've appreciated all the support we've had on YouTube. I'll just give you an update on YouTube where we're at. In order to be monetized on YouTube, you have to have 3,000 public watch hours. We've got about 1,100 public watch hours in the last 2 weeks. So those of you who rewatch these streams or watch them for the first time, I appreciate it. That's super helpful. It's a great way you can help out. You don't have to donate any money. That's kind of the direction we'd like to head. So thank you for that. But I also have Instagram and Twitter where I'll put stuff out. I don't really use Facebook. If you want to follow me over there, there's not a lot of content right now, but there will be. So if you follow me over there, that helps. That gets us in people's algorithm. Allows us to get better guests, too, for our Tuesdays and Thursday shows. So the Canadians are not happy about whoever reported Miss Julie. The Canadians are not happy about this. First up is Katrina. Hi, Katrina.
Hi. Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not trying to be inappropriate, but I'm just asking.
Shocker.
Have you ever been with a woman of color? And if you have, and I'm talking about doing the damn thing, if you have, how was it?
No. Okay. No, I grew up in Utah. I got married. I got married in Utah. I don't think. Nope. No, the answer is no.
Oh, unfortunate for you.
I was going to say, I bet I missed out. That's what I was going to say.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad that wasn't inappropriate. Thanks, Katrina. Appreciate it. Let's just make me uncomfortable the whole day. We started off uncomfortable. Let's just fucking end it that way. DJ Tony Stewart, LRTP.
What up, homie? How you doing?
I didn't choose to be born there. Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm gonna take it to a different direction. Being that I'm a DJ, two questions. Well, it's a double question. What do you have on repeat on your phone or Spotify, and what's your all-time favorite band?
Dude, repeat varies. Repeat varies a lot. I'll go through. I like different genres. I grew up listening mostly to country and then like 2000s hip hop. So I'll still go back to that. I will maintain till the day that I die that the greatest remix of all time was Welcome to Atlanta Part 2. I will go to my grave saying that. So that makes it on there. Lately I've listened to, it's kind of a weird group of people. A lot of J. Cole. I've been into a ton of J. Cole lately.
Nice.
Dean, what's his name? Dean. He sings that song about his dad, but he has some great songs. Anybody know who I'm talking about? Something Dean. I'm bad at this. And then, fuck, I'm so bad. I'm gonna pull up my Spotify right now. I'm bad at artists. I'll pull up the playlist I've been listening to.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd change the direction. I wanted to know what your music taste was.
Let me pull up the. All right. So on the playlist I've been listening to the most, I have Amos Lee, Dean Lewis, Mickey, Louis Capaldi, James Taylor, John Mayer, Dermot Kennedy.
Okay.
Lily Miola. Kind of that. Like that's kind of, I'm maybe emotional right now that I'm looking at what I've been listening to. I've been in my feelings quite a bit.
Well, you kind of have to after doing these lives every
El
day.
King. Yeah. There you go.
Change your pitch. All right, man. Keep doing the good work, bro. Thanks for the info.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, I guess I've been sad lately. I don't know. I like music. Like I grew up playing instruments. My mom was a concert violinist. I grew up. I played the violin. I played the piano. I played every percussion instrument. I think I played the trombone, the viola, the cello. I play guitar. So I played a lot of instruments. So I like hearing the instruments in music. So anything that has good instrumentals, I'll probably usually listen to. This is the mom that raised me, by the way. There's two different moms, by the way. I talk about two different moms. I say mom interchangeably just because, but the mother who raised me was the concert violinist. But that's one of the main reasons why my birth mother chose her to raise me is because of music. She really cared about that. All right, CJ.
Hi, Jay.
Hi. Hi, CJ.
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am lovely.
I agree with that.
Oh, so sweet. First thing, whoever was down in the comments that reported Miss Julie, baby, I want all the smoke. Okay?
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Do not pass go straight to hell.
Yep.
Because your mother, okay?
That's right.
Directly, your
Yeah.
mom, specifically. We
Yeah.
don't come for Miss Julie. We don't do such things. The only artist that I recognized was J. Cole
Okay.
that you said. After that, my ADHD.
Oh, you don't know Louis Capaldi? Louis Capaldi's amazing.
Who?
Louis Capaldi?
Have
I think I'm
no
saying
idea.
it right.
Have no clue who that is.
I believe he has Louis Capaldi has Tourette's, I think. I think it's Tourette's. So he like that you can find videos of him in the middle of performances. He'll break into Tourette's, but he's an incredible singer. And incredible story. I think that and I think the instrumentals on his music's beautiful. So it appears I've just been in a sad phase though as I'm looking at that.
That's okay. Nothing
That's
wrong
okay.
with feeling
Thank
the
you.
feels. Because,
Thank you. But I love J. Cole. I like rappers who tell stories.
Yeah,
And that's what I
he
like
does
about J. Cole is like his raps are very narrative driven, like they're telling a story. I like that.
I also remember John Mayer. You did say that. I do love him.
I did say John Mayer, yeah.
So here's my question. What did the triangle say to the circle?
I don't know.
You're pointless.
Stupid. Get out of here. Go away. So stupid.
Bye.
Bye. Say hi to the kids. Shocker House Collective. Welcome.
What's up, Jay?
Hey.
It's Deani.
Oh, listen, your voice it's very apparent with your voice when it's you.
I know.
I did forget when I heard it, but the first time I heard you say my name, I knew who you were. I just forgot this was your thing. Yeah, what's up?
So, man, since we're all, getting into your personal life on your music and stuff, I wanted to tell you I got in trouble a couple weeks back because I kept talking about you. I was like, Jay's so awesome and he's in Arizona. And my girlfriend was like, it sounds like you have a bromance.
Is that what we have? Do we have a bromance?
She says that I have a crush on you. So I guess I'm acknowledging to the TikTok world that, yes, I do have a bromance going on with Jay, okay?
That's right.
And I would love to sit with you around the fire and listen to J. Cole and smoke under the stars in Arizona. So you just let me know when you want to hang out, bro.
I got you, Deani. Let's do it.
All right.
All right. Let's see it. Bye. Hey, anybody that wants to get after some greenness and listen to J. Cole sitting around the fire, I'm all for that. I'd like to go with Boeing close by. There's some spots like just out of town where you could light a fire, and you could watch all the shit that comes in and out from Boeing. You'll see some weird stuff, and then you'll think that it's more than it really was. But the last time I did that with people that I met from TikTok, we saw a B-2. It actually happened. There was a plane coming in. I was like, that plane's weird, because I don't know anything about it. But I was the first one to notice it was weird. And after that, everybody else's knowledge took over. But we saw a B-2 fly right over us. So come to Arizona, magic happens. Yeah. Yeah, let's have a meetup. Everybody can do a meetup. Is that it? That's it for the day? The box is empty. I'm going to end 20 minutes early. That is okay by me, because I'll be on later today, too. If anybody has something they want to get to real quick before I go, shut up, Hole. We'll do that. Oh, 2 people immediately. All right. Strawberry Kermit.
What's up, Jay? How are
Hey,
you, dude? I've
good.
been up before, but it's been a while. I don't know if you remember me.
I
But
don't. Sorry.
I just hopped up a few minutes ago when you were talking about music and how you played instruments. I just wanted to ask who your favorite guitarist was, because I play electric guitar too, and my dad plays bass, and he taught me to play guitar, and I just want to know who you like.
Um, this is gonna sound kind of crazy. Actually, my favorite guitarist to listen to that's like mainstream was actually Jack Johnson. I loved how he
Oh,
played like
cool.
rhythm guitar. Yeah, it was super unique how he played the guitar. He did all of the rhythm himself, like with the way that he played. So
That's really
technically,
awesome.
and he's really good. Like he's switching between massive bar chords while playing rhythm. I really loved listening to Jack Johnson.
Yeah, and he's an incredible surfer too.
Is he
I don't
really?
want to, yeah,
He
I don't want to
sounds like
get,
an
I don't want to,
incredible surfer.
I don't want to give out, false information, but I'm pretty sure he was best friends with Kelly Slater, and he actually got in a really gnarly surfing incident, surfing pipeline. I think he like hit his face on the reef essentially, and so he like stopped surfing and he turned to music instead. But he went to UCSB, and so I actually met him once when he was surfing in Santa Barbara, and my sister went to UCSB, and she said that he would be out there surfing all the time with the college kids, and he was just like the nicest person. But yeah, he was like I'm pretty sure he could have gone
Yeah, I'm
killed
reading it right now.
before.
That's why he stopped. He was in
Yeah,
a horrific surfing accident.
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
him and Kelly Slater, I mean, they probably still are, but when they were younger, they were like best friends together, and so they would surf all the time. But
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
I guess he chose music because it was a little bit safer
I
in
think he
terms
chose
of
right. He did well
yeah,
with music. He
yeah,
did all right.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Do you like David Gilmour by any chance?
I don't know if I know who that is.
Pink Floyd guitarist?
So because I grew up Mormon, like 70s and 80s rock was strictly forbidden. And I feel like that's something you kind of needed to be brought up on. I've never really gotten
Totally.
into like
Yeah.
70s or 80s rock, and I know that that's where like some of the best guitarists come from, but just like that style of music, I never really liked that much.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pink Floyd is well, I don't want to say the entire because I know that Roger Waters is pretty psycho, but D David Gilmour is like one of my favorite guitarists of all time, just because he's so humble. I think I saw an interview with him once, and people were like, "You're so amazing. Like how are you so good?" And he's like, "I don't really do anything special. Like I don't do anything really difficult on the guitar. Like I just play like how I feel like playing." Like he's just very like authentic and down to earth.
I'll listen
Um,
to some Pink Floyd later. Once I'm on the green, I'll
yeah,
do it.
Shine On You Crazy Diamond. I just learned part of the guitar solo to that the other day, and it's like probably one of the sexiest guitar solos I've ever heard in my life.
All right, I'm going to listen to it. But once again, you said you're the world's biggest Roger Waters fan post music career, is what you said, right?
No, no, no.
Yeah.
No, 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 no.
All right, biggest Roger
No.
Waters fan post music career. Sorry, he had to go. I guess he's going to his Roger Waters concert here. Yolanda, I see you, Jen. Yolanda is. Oh, Yolanda left. Great. That was going to be incredibly uncomfortable. Hi, Jen.
Why is Yolanda making you uncomfortable?
She was going to. Whatever she was going to say was going to make me uncomfortable. I'm 100% sure.
Gotcha. So, two things.
Okay.
So, sorry, 1 second. I lost my train of thought. Oh, sorry.
Fascinating.
So, do you know how when two people have sex, it's a twosome?
Mm-hmm.
When it's three people, it's a threesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know why people call you handsome.
Get out of here. How dare you? Fuck. What? Yes, Yolanda. Oh, she's got that shit internet. That was hurtful, Jen. It was hurtful. Oh, sorry, Yolanda's internet's not working. That's a bummer. All right, Anthony, I know you have. Hey, Kirsten's back. Anthony, I know that you have a lot to say about music. I'm going to give you a 45-second time window, though. Ready, go.
Well,
hi to you too, and I'm not going to talk about music.
Somebody
Not
just
enough
say
time to you.
gentrifying the pine. Fuck you, fuck you, Kristen. That's not
Ken
nice.
Ken Ken Buck is not going to run for re-election. You should look at that story when you get off. It's an important story, and one that would be great for a future topic on the winds of change that I think are coming for
Holy
some of
shit.
the last standing old school GOP guys. And I believe that your intro music should be something from Cake because the way you talk about certain things, you sometimes are like Cake lyrics. Not just the golf, not just the golf and the chapstick, but sometimes you make these funny little quips, right? And if you start to listen to Cake lyrics, there's something about your delivery that just reminds me of some of the lines from Cake songs. So I just was thinking
I
that
like
would be some
Cake.
fantastic intro music for you.
Okay, we'll think about that now. Whisper made some intro music, so we'll have to talk to him about that. This is crazy though. Ken Buck said too many Republican leaders are lying to America. That's what he said while he was saying he was stepping down. This is
That's
wild.
why I wanted to jump up because
If Republicans are going to solve difficult problems, we have to deal with some very unpleasant lies and make sure that we project to the public what the truth is. Good for you, Ken Buck. Cowardly a little bit to run out. This is kind of Jeff Flakey. I understand the criticism there. A lot of them do it on their way out. Romney did it. Jeff Flake did it. Ken Buck did it. I'm sure Ken Buck's going to write a book. But still, it's nice to hear.
Yeah. Anyway,
right.
Enjoy the balance of your day, my brother.
Thanks, Anthony.
And
sure
we all
we'll see
enjoy
each
the
other.
way you put on your chapstick.
Fuck off. Okay, thank you. Bye. The guest box empty. Guest box is empty. Thank you guys so much for the support today. Thank you for the likes, for the gifts, for the subscribers. We're at 113, trying to get to 139. I do it the easy way, $2.99. I offer $2.99 subscriptions instead of $5.99 because I want it to be as cheap as possible for all of you. Make sure you follow me on YouTube if you want the replays of these. Again, Instagram and Twitter. Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I will see you guys later on Whispers Live, and then I'll probably see you later tonight. And then look for me more on the weekends, a lot of times with Nemo and Felice. I'll be around there. I'm going to say one last parting shot. He didn't come up here to announce it, but I'm going to say it anyways. I hope he doesn't care. Bad Views messaged me this morning, told me that he said, bro, last night was a joke. If I can make it in today, I'd like to officially announce that in no way whatsoever am I associated with the steroid anger-induced women hurting mentally 3-year-old man-child that is Jeff, this stinky human garbage HVAC. He said he's as mentally old as the stain on my sheets last night that hasn't dried up. So Bad Views with the walk-off today. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, or I'll see you over with Whisper. Make sure you're following him. He'll go live in about an hour. See ya.